players, we have coaches, we also have parents here in the arena, and if you were trying to introduce the game of Rocket League to them, how would you describe it?
Well, the very short is that it's soccer with cars, which already makes it much more palatable to Americans. But we have 3v3 that are going to be driving around the arena trying to pass it to each other. Each round is 5 minutes, and just like in a traditional sport, the one that has the higher score wins. In fact, we're going to be doing best of fives in this tournament, and really it is so incredible to see not only just the range of players, but where they are from. We have players not only America, but players from Europe, across countries, international players that are joining us. It is so great to have a live event like this. And you who have competed in collegiate esports, you can testify to kind of the energy boost it gives you when you have people cheering you on.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because being at a LAN event can be a little, I guess, anxiety-inducing for some players, especially the noise that they're not used to having. Having an audience cheer you on can be fantastic, but if that audience isn't rooting for you and they're rooting for the other people on the field, it's not the best feeling when something goes wrong and you hear a bunch of people cheering because you're like, wait, I just died, my team is not doing what we want to do. But that's just the nature of esports. There's fans for both sides, but of course, at the end of the day, we hope everyone is cheering for everyone's victories, regardless of the outcome.
Well, we sort of teased it at the beginning, but here are the official rules that we have. Like I said, it's 3v3 standard soccer mode, best of 5 with round robin, semifinals, and then finals are going to be taking place. And golden goal sudden death, that means if it's tied at the end of the 5 minutes, then we go to overtime, and first one to score wins. So pretty standard. The great thing about Rocket League, it's universal, the meta almost never changing, but you always see new talent.
Yes, and one thing that I am very grateful for is that the meta does not shift, but you know, at the end of the day, we still want to focus on good, clean Rocket League here. I want to see great midfield control, lack of double commits. Now that I actually can hear some of the comms here today, I might be judging whether or not I am hearing people actually calming for Rocket League. Some people think you don't need to, but it's still very important. But beyond those important keys of advice coming from us here, we have Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, and those are going to be create the mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Today, Doc's keys are presented from Esports Tower, where you can score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
As we're ready to head into our first game, it is going to be Lynx versus Vipers to start out the round robin for our Esports Tower event here. Of course, the other thing, just kind of on a lighter note here, is I always got to see what the flow, where we're going to be in the standard arena, so that it looks like pretty standard. I always like it when they kind of bring out the other stages, but I do hope for a little bit of flash in what we see from the cars. I want to see something than just standard octane. You know what I mean? I want to see Mercs be brought out. I want to see Batmobiles, DeLoreans. You know, I just want to be entertained.
Maybe your request will be granted. Personally, I mean, like, the cars are cool. I understand that the hitboxes change based off the car you get, and that also kind of can influence your playstyle when it comes to Rocket League.
Yeah, definitely.
But outside the cars, I want to see the Hot Wheels map. That's my personal favorite. I loved Hot Wheels growing up. I loved the TV show / movie that they made from it. So, like, give me the Hot Wheels map at least one time today, please. That's my one request. If I could have that granted, I would be a very happy person.
Of course, whether we'll see if production can grant our wish, but we have been disappointed many times up here before. But we'll just have to see how it turns out. But overall, now that we're going to be talking about the gameplay, you really brought up a good point in kind of the different hitboxes because the different cars, because Rocket League so much is about those fundamentals, about getting in the practice arena, and you can see some of these players, they'll just practice for hours and hours, elevating, doing the aerial passes. It is so technical how precise they have to be.
Yes, I jokingly say here on desk you have to be planning to major in geometry, physics, or astrophysics if you want to be a, like, supersonic legend in Rocket League, because some of the stuff that you can pull off in this game takes so much technicality and understanding of how the game's physics engine works that it is genuinely ridiculous, and to be, you know, knocking on a dead meme, big brain.
All right, as we're ready to head into our first match here, Viper versus Lynx immediately, almost something being scored there. King Michael makes the first move onto Z Hydra. Regularly seen here at Esports, he's going to save it, get a little bit more side control going for the Vipers, and overall good for these two teams to get a little bit of breathing room after that kickoff. Not too much, though, for the Vipers as Lynx scores first.
That was a fantastic pass here. Oh, so King Michael is actually Thrift. I did get to finally say hello to Thrift here when I first came into the arena. Finally able to put names to faces, and so many of you have not sent us your selfies. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. When you introduce yourself to me and say hi, please tell me your gamer tag first, so then I can actually like associate the gamer tag with the face.
Adrift now trying to center it up to teammates, going to be disrupted by Enzio. Wild stops at midfield, leaving it for King Michael, elevates up just off the backboard. Adrift trying to get it, but he tries just a bit too fast. He's going to be credited with a bicycle kick, but no goal so far. Another thing you're going to want to keep an eye on are all those bright spots around the... Well, okay, you know what? Wilds isn't even going to let me make my point.
Zydra did elevate to attempt to get a touch on this, but it looked like the angle and the height was just not quite right. You can see them right there going up, and they just barely missed it. So that's going to be goal number 2. And typically when we see a team go up by 2, that is when some beads of sweat start forming on foreheads, but we still have 4 minutes and 13 seconds left for the Vipers to catch up. They typically are a cold, slow, and calculated, level-headed team, so this should be an easy task for them if they focus on their fundamentals here and don't let Wilds just run wild with that ball.
The other thing I wanted to bring up for those of you who just might be introduced to Rocket League, all those bright spots you see on the field, the orbs, the lights, those are boosts that you can grab. Boost not only allows you to go faster, but allows you to make those crazy aerial plays, so watch those bars on either side of the screen. That shows how much each member of each team has. It's one of the most important utilities you can have in the game.
We have the ball get volleyed over to the Viper side of the field. Tokei's going to get a touch on it, immediately disrupted by one of the Lynx players. Zydra goes for the challenge against Thrift. Unfortunately, though, Adrift Lemming still has possession. King goes in to try and get a touch. They will not grab it. Wild to the midfield, redirects to the mid. We have Enzo get in that passing lane, but ends up tossing it towards the net with no follow-up from their teammates. A double commit on defense from the Lynx pays off. But we have Tokei then resetting it, trying to give it to Enzo. Enzo goes for the shot, but it's a little too slow, allowing him to easily get in there and block that.
Yeah, Enzo already being the key playmaker for the Vipers, credited with 3 shots on goal so far. Right now they're trying to get their side control back with a pass over to Ezzy Hydra, but it's not quite aimed correctly, so it's going to go off to the side, give the Lynx a chance to clear. Now they go around the end. They're able to steal the boost away from the Vipers. Can they center it up? Not if Enzo has anything to say about it. A very crucial demolition is going to give the Vipers possibly enough time to clear here, although Wilds is going to make it difficult for them, and a crucial save by Tokei.
Yeah, that's sent to Zydra, who just barely touches it back to Tokei, who's going to pop it up. It's going to ricochet off that ceiling. Adrift tries to get a touch on it to redirect. Instead, Wild to go for the challenge. Ball is on the side, still here on the Lynx side of the field. Towards the goal in the back third. Adrift sends it towards the side, goes off the wall, looking to dunk it down to a teammate. Gets disrupted, though, allowing Zydra to get in. Tokei goes past the defender, can't get a touch on that ball. Dunks down at the mid again by Adrift. Sent to Thrift. Thrift goes to center it up. Enzo sending it to the side.
Zydra now trying to make the play. He's going to have to play it around 2, now 3. Adrift takes it away from him, pushes it back toward midfield. Now he's going to try to play around just one more to get the goal. He's able to do it. Gets the 3rd goal for the Lynx, who have a very dominant start.
Right now we have 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in this first game in this best of 5 series. So far, Vipers are struggling to find a foothold and get the first goal they need. Getting 3 goals in just over 2 minutes is not impossible, but they definitely need to start playing a little bit more keep away and getting clears with a purpose here from their back third. The Wild, off a fantastic redirect from Thrift, finds goal number 4 for the Lynx.
Now the gauntlet is really thrown down here for the opposing team. You see Enzio unable to save there. Normally you're going to want about 30 seconds for each goal to kind of comfortably score, so the Vipers are going to really have to make something happen here. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them, but we have seen amazing comebacks, so we'll see as Enzio tries to play off the wall and start. Unfortunately for the Vipers, a demo onto Tokei is going to make it a little bit hard for them to go on the offense. We'll see if they can recover.
We have Enzo attempt to find a clear, but there's a double commit from the Lynx offense that forces the ball to still remain here on their half of the field. Enzo goes for the challenge against Wilds. Wilds doesn't get a touch, but Adrift does. Another shot on goal, hits the crossbar, but the second touch from Adrift finds its way in, and that is a hat trick, the first one for this evening, going to Adrift.
Now, this is one of those crucial points here where you got to remember this is a best of 5, so we still have plenty more Rocket League to play, as you often say. Nerdy, GG, go next.
Yes, and 90 seconds, it's doable. We've seen 4 goals, if not more, scored in about 40 seconds here within Rocket League, but 5 goals is pretty difficult.
Well, now 6.
Wild getting a hat trick themselves, but the Vipers are also a notorious team, like I said, for being calm, cold, and calculated.
Sure.
First game, especially traditionally here for Esports Tower, regardless of the event that we are doing, does not always tell the story that's written for the remainder of the evening, and this could just be them trying to analyze what's happening and figure out in the minute that we're going to have between these games what they need to do to go on the counterattack against the Lynx.
Still plenty of time to make adjustments. Right now, Thrift, shown as King Michael, is going to pass it over, and look at that beautiful passing between all three to get the goal. See King Michael elevating up there over the Wilds, and then Adrift is the third one there. So elegantly pulled off, precision, technical ability. Gonna put the Lynx to 7-0.
Still have a minute and 15 seconds left on that clock. Vipers hoping to get that morality boost to finding one goal. We have a demo on Zydra though. Enzo not giving up, has a great stall here in front of the goal. Sends it to Toke. Toke centers it up, but before anyone from the side of the Vipers can get a touch on it, it's going to be disrupted by Thrift. Sends it to the mid to Wilds. Wilds takes a shot. It's going to not even hit the back wall before Enzo gets a touch on it, forcing a slight reset of the play here coming out from the Lynx. Ball now sent in the midfield. Thrift dunks it down. Has to play around Toke. Toke goes for the challenge, does not get a touch on that ball. In the corner, we have Zydra trying to dig it out of here of the back third. Enzo's now going after it. Has time to take a few touches, but needs to find an opportunity to make a play here. Does so. Hits the crossbar. The follow-up also hits the crossbar. That ever so steadfast fourth man coming in clutch there for the Lynx.
You specifically saw there how Toke flew underneath the soccer ball. That's what I was saying about the boost. Sometimes you can't elevate up if you don't have what you need, but Toke is going to find the redemption he was looking for. Score the first goal.
That is the Vipers showing they have signs of life. They are not down and out just yet. While this scoreboard may be reminiscent of, yes, a GG go next, as we say here, there is still plenty of Rocket League left as we tick down to the last 20 seconds here of game number 1.
Kickoff won by the Vipers. Answered quickly back by the Lynx, though. Heads off to the side, Adrift to elevate up. Doesn't quite get the tap he wants. Wilds is going to push it right above the goal, off the backboard. Follow up there. Not going to be scored on, just off the post. Zydra now Zydra trying to play it up the field, but isn't going to quite do it. And at this point, now it is a question of whether the Vipers will be able to gather themselves mentally and fight back for this full best of 5.
Well, right now they're going to have a minute to talk to their coaches. We can see here with our analytics, we have about 62% shots on goal in favor of the Lynx. Boost use pretty equal. Side control, though, heavily favoring the Lynx. And if you were to be trying to give words of advice right now to these Vipers players, what would that be?
Well, one thing I really noticed, especially in the final minutes, is Vipers certainly have no shortage of plays they're trying to make, but I'm noticing at crucial times they aren't having the boost that they need, and that might be when they're not gathering boost, or maybe the Lynx are boost starving them. It could be one or the other, but not only did you see the play by Toke, who kind of flew under the ball at the crucial moment, but also Enzo had it all to himself around the 1:05 mark. Could have gotten the goal there, but ran out of boost just, and you saw kind of just almost like cement was poured into the car. It just almost stopped in midfield, wasn't able to score. So that boost management, trying to make sure you have the utilities you need, very important.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. The other thing I'm also noticing is the lack of attempting to stop the plays coming out from the Lynx. So getting in those passing lanes, stopping that reset from hitting off the backboard to take the secondary follow-up shot. A lot of those goals were follow-up shots. They were not the initial shot taken. So stopping that rebound is going to be very important for the Vipers going into this next game.
We're going to be ready to head into the second round here. By far not a done deal. Both teams still have a chance to make a showing. We have it 1-0 in favor of the Lynx, but Vipers look ready to fight back. And overall, sometimes you need that first game just kind of learn the other team's play style, what they want, and maybe get those jitters out of the field. Because like you were saying, the crowd here is a double-edged sword. Sometimes it can help you and you get excited, but it's also intimidating at times.
Very intimidating. And first LAN events, you know, you got to get the jitters out early. Otherwise, you can start seeing your chances of success trickle away from you. So let's hope the Vipers have improved. They're in the back third right now on the Lynx side of the field. We have Zydra go for a reset, sending it to Enzo, but they push it too far forward. So Enzo's going to have to do a back pass to, I believe that was Zydra again, but Drift getting in that passing lane, stealing away the possession. Too many touches being taken right now for the Vipers.
Vipers looking for their clear. Wilds tries to play it around them, just going to miss it. And barely the Vipers are going to get away from that one. It's a crucial demo there on to King Michael. That might just give them a little bit of breathing room that they need to try to clear it up. But Wilds in midfield is going to stop that. Zydra with a nice tap is trying to pass it up the field. There it goes. Enzo is trying to look here, trying to disrupt the goalie. But Wilds, before the shot can be made, is able to disrupt the Vipers enough so they're not going to get a shot on goal.
That's twice now that I've seen one of our Vipers players just try and do their standard practice of taking a couple touches, taking the moments. But you need to communicate to your teammates teammates when there's pressure being put on them, just like standard soccer. The give and the go needs to be happening faster here. Playing too slow into the Lynx very fast-paced playstyle is not going to be playing into your own advantage here because they are the ones currently in control of the tempo. Zydra does a great pinch, but the follow-up is actually going to come from a Lynx player. We have Thrift sending it to the back wall. Enzo, though, waited there patiently, grabs it, but unfortunately, again, it's going to be Thrift who gets a touch. Now they've dunked it down. Ball's still here on the back third of the Viper side of the field.
Zydra with a nice tap there is going to be stopped again by Wilds, who has been kind of the major denier. But we are seeing that the score is very even still. Nothing has been scored for either team. In fact, only one shot on goal has gone forward for either team. So it definitely seems that the Viper, oh, well, that might have been the exception there as soon as I said it. Vipers, again, another very risky situation there. I don't know why there wasn't a goalie back there. It might be just a bit of bullying from the Lynx. We just don't know right now.
Got to make sure your rotations are clean. I've seen a couple of times now where we've had all three Vipers very bunched up and close into their goal, not looking to really find an opportunity to make a clear happen with someone in a cherry pick or at the midfield. So it's doing things with a purpose. That's very important, something I brought up here before. Right now, ball's on the back third of the Lynx side of the field. It's going to be popped up from Thrift to Wilds, and Wilds sends it right back to Thrift. Wild gets it over Toke. It's going to be back and forth because we have a two-car pileup between the Lynx players, allowing Enzo to push forward. Now ball crossing that midfield stripe, but it gets dunked down right to a Drift, who volleys it to the back third on the Vipers side, trying to go for the challenge against Zydra. Zydra gets the first touch, though. They're looking for an opportunity, but that opportunity is thwarted by Wilds.
Wild's been such a consistent pain for the Vipers whenever they try to make a play here. Seen a lot of demos be brought out, but he might be a prime target. We'll just have to see how it works out. Still tied as we're down to the 2-minute mark. Zydra, though, is going to be the one on the receiving end of an elimination, setting it up for a drift here. Ball is slow, though, giving plenty of time for a save from the Vipers. Now Enzo trying to make the play. Wilds is the only one defending right now. Can they make it? They fly over him. It's going to be set up right in front of the goal. Elevate up a double commit for the Lynx. Right now they're going to get away with it, though, as they manage to clear past the midfield mark.
Wild sends it to the side where Toke was waiting, leaves it for Enzo. Enzo takes a shot. It's going to be saved by a Drift. The follow-up from Enzo, unfortunately, wasn't in time. They still maintain possession. Goes for a slight reset pass to Toke. Off the back wall now. We have an opportunity for Enzo to take the shot. They do, but yet again, a little bit too wide. Double commit from the defense allows Toke to get another touch on it, but we've got three members bunched up, not ready for the breakaway play that's about to happen. They do beat Wilds back to the goal, saving it at the last second as Zydra. Drift goes for the follow-up. Enzo will elevate and send that one to the side.
Now the question is, who moves up the field? Both Enzo and Toke are a bit boost-starved right now. Zydra only having 31. So right now, it's questionable whether the Vipers can make their play after getting some fresh boosts, though. Enzo moves up the field. Wilds puts it over to the corner here, and it's going to be a clear for the Lynx. Back over toward the Vipers. Goal and a Drift. 4 minutes into it, scoring the first.
Right when that goal was around, or before this goal was scored, right here when I saw a Drift get possession playing it off that wall, I saw all three members of our Viper squad here on the back third of the Lynx side of the field, overcommitting on a goal, making sure you're not operating in triangles and quadrants. Being linear like that makes stopping goal-scoring opportunities and breakaway plays like that very, very difficult. As we tick down here now into the last 50 seconds of game number 2, Lynx only have one goal, so buzzer beater is still possible, but as I do that, I get the first caster curse officially. And
I technically had it before you, so I'll take that mantle away from you. You don't have to endure the shame.
I appreciate it, but right now, Lynx are up by 2. It's doable. You can get 2 goals in 53 seconds, but that relies on heavy, clean Rocket League. As we go into this kickoff, Enzo wins heavily, but there's a double commit from the Lynx, allowing a slight touch. Enzo, though, still maintaining possession, gets it over a Drift, tries to send it to Toke, but we also have Thrift getting in there and disrupting that play. Shot on goal, ricochets awkwardly between the crossbar and Wilds, and it's going to be saved and sent to the mid.
Now 30 seconds of that last minute has been burned off. If the Vipers need to score a goal, it is now. We see Thrift in the middle of the field. The Hydra with a long bomb shot over. It is in front of the goal, but it's at an awkward angle. It's going to waterfall in front. There goes the pass from Toke, just off to the left, though. They needed the goal right then and there. They might still have time to try to get it, but with only 15 seconds left, it looks like the Vipers might have to go to a game 3.
Right there, that was a fantastic clear, but done. The purpose was not communicated by the team. So many of the Vipers were still over on their own back third, while the Lynx had already pushed forward into the defensive positioning. Ball is right on the back third of the Viper side of the field, hits the ground. Game number 2 goes in favor of the Lynx. There is still plenty of Rocket League left to go just yet. It is best of 5. Lynx are at match point, but reverse sweeps, not uncommon in the world of Rocket
not unheard.
League. or Esports Tower.
You see show shots on goal there. It's a bit misleading, though, because for basically more than first half of the game, there were hardly any shots on goal. So the stat is kind of skewed there. Both these teams, it seems their defense have really stepped up in the second game here.
For sure. I can't argue with you on that one. I mean, gosh, what, was it like the 1:05 mark, or was it?
Yeah, it was 4 minutes until the goal was scored, the first goal by the Lynx.
Yeah, so that definitely shows that the Vipers were doing something a bit different, but it seems as though, once again, the Achilles heel being the doing something with a purpose. When they had that great clear that almost turned into a goal, there was just not follow-up happening. Either the communication was not there, or the intent behind making that clear was not either communicated, or no one intended on that clear actually being successful. And that's what the, you need to be doing this and communicating to your teammates, I'm looking for a clear, or someone needs to be at the midfield and ready for that clear. You don't need 3 people being in the defensive position all in one line, because then the field control is just all in favor of the other team.
And I think you also saw the Lynx can be so explosive on the counter attacks. You need to be able to rotate back quick enough, or just not overcommit. You need to have that one person hanging about a midfield who can rotate to back post really quickly. Like you were saying, you don't want to get in that linear formation. You always want to kind of be in a triangle, a quadrangle, whatever sort of shape you want to be in, just not a straight line at this point can yield dividends. But here we go. We're going to go into game 3. Right now the Vipers have to pull off a reverse sweep. But also remember here, this is round robin, so we're not in the finals quite yet, so still a lot of this game left to be played, not only in this match, but for the whole tournament.
I mean, if they're really, really trying to make a, in the words of Doc, a type of boomerang play here and just be like the sleeper agents and be like, this is our play style, and set this as the tone and momentum and pace that they're going to be playing for this tournament in game number 1, just so like the spotlight's moved off of them. Props to you. That takes a lot of mental power to pull off if that is the plan, but good luck.
All right, Vipers v Lynx, third game. Vipers have to get something here to be able to start a reverse sweep, but don't want to get too far ahead here for these players. They just want to keep their blinders on, focus on the game in front of you before counting everything you have to do next.
Adrift currently on the back third. The Viper side of the field, we have a demo onto Zydra from Thrift. It's going to make things a little bit difficult here on the defense for the Vipers. They're maintaining themselves, though. Thrift looking to send this ball into the into a centering opportunity. It's going to be stolen away by Enzo at the midfield, immediately volleyed right back by Drift. And then Zydra sends it back again. Challenge results in no one getting clean possession. Enzo, though, trying to capitalize on it, immediately stolen away by Adrift, who's going to go to the midfield and take a shot on goal.
And there goes Toke rotating back and is able to save, and just gives the Vipers another opportunity here. Wild's going to try to clear. Toke is unable to deny it, but Zydra sure is. Pushes it in front, trying to play around them, but not quite going to be able to get the goal there. But you see 2 Lynx kind of bunched up toward each other. Now they're going to try to play off each other, and Toke again. That's the last-minute rotation, saving the Vipers.
Ball is at the mid. Wild gets possession after going airborne with it. Enzo stops that shot on goal. Here on the side, still in the back there, the Vipers side of the field, we have great clear gets sent to Enzo. Enzo's shot on goal does get saved. Ball is still on the Lynx, back third of the field. Zydra's going to elevate. Thrift is going to go for the challenge, dunk it down, crossing midfield stripe. Enzo goes for the return volley. Adrift goes for the challenge, sending it right back towards the midfield. Toke and Enzo, great pass between the two of them. Allows Zydra to elevate, tries to dunk it down, just barely a touch there, enough from one of the Lynx players to send it right back towards the midfield as Adrift goes on an attack opportunity. He's going to have to rotate back, though, as they do lose possession.
Toke trying to make the plays, actually going to rotate up. Enzo gets it stolen away from them now. Dangerous situation for the Vipers. They have no boost, and they're going to get scored and punished for that.
Unfortunately, I think what you mentioned in game number 1 is really rearing its ugly head right now, which is the boost management, boost starving that's happening currently for the Vipers. They're losing out on quintessential resources when it comes to the fast-paced game of countering the Lynx. They need to start prioritizing making sure they're getting those boost.
Oh, right off the kickoff, Toke.
That's a fantastic kickoff.
Oh,
Enzo is just barely touched on by Adrift. We do have Toke not giving up just yet, putting pressure on. Zydra's going to help out, get possession. Adrift, though, sends it to Thrift off the back wall. Thrift goes for the redirect shot. Adrift tries to do it themselves as well, but Toke is going to disrupt the opportunity. Wilds takes a shot, goes off the backboard. It's centered up for Adrift. It's going to hit the backboard yet again. Toke now looking to dunk this one down. Unfortunately, takes a few too many touches there. Ball's going to be finally finding its way into the back of the net from Thrift.
One other thing I gotta point out here is at the beginning of this round, since we're talking about resources, I was talking about, watch the bars on the side, not seeing how much boost they have, but a thing you want to be looking at is how those bars are depleted. A lot of players will just kind of tap the boost a little bit at the time so they can conserve what they have as long as they can, and if you see those bars kind of going down very fast, then that means they might not be using the boost in the most efficient way.
We have the ball, unfortunately, go over Zydra. It's going to hit the awkward pocket that's there on the back wall. Toge tries to get across this midfield stripe. Enzo goes for the challenge. Zydra's going to stop this shot on goal. Plays it around Wild. They are having a drift put pressure on them, though, so the give and the go needed to have happened, but it didn't. Now Toge is trying to go on the defensive, but a fantastic demo in the goal onto Enzo will result in goal number 2 for the Lynx.
I mean, if you were wondering why it was on Doc's keys to the game, that is exactly why you want to do it. Drift sees his opening, takes Enzo out, who was trying to rotate there. It left the goal wide open. That's exactly what you want to do in this game. 3-0 for the Lynx. Look like they're cruising to a win. With 2 minutes left, anything can happen.
We have Wild go for the shot on goal. It is going to hit the crossbar. We have Thrift try to reset this play yet again. He's going to have it in the corner, though, so it means the angle's not going to be quite right. It does find its way almost to the midfield from a clear from Enzo. Wild tries to get a touch. Enzo's going to send it to Zydra. Zydra pushing forward now. Pushes the ball a little bit too far in front of themselves, making it difficult to maintain possession. Toge tries to go for the save, but Thrift now slows down, plays it around one, has to play it around another one. Enzo, though, gets above Thrift and manages to get a touch on it, forcing a slight reset. And Wild dunks this ball down, and Drift comes in for the shot, and that is goal number 4 for the Lynx.
And unfortunately, right now, it's just too much time the soccer ball is spending on the blue side of the field. That's that side control that we've been seeing at the end of every game here, just affording yourselves more opportunities for more shots on goal. Not unheard of, though. It is for us to see 4 goals in about 90 seconds. We're going to have to probably see one very soon here. We'll see how Zydra can do. It's trying to set it up and center it. And so now with the follow-up, it's right in front of there, it's just gonna trickle in, and the Vipers have started, hopefully a comeback for them.
We might be able to see this in the replay here. Never mind. We're not going to see what Zydra was doing with possession, but it did seem like they finally are recognizing the fact that when they're on these offensive opportunities, they need to be looking for those give and goes. Someone needs to be ready to receive that ball or be ready for the follow-up, because too many touches, the fast play style of the Lynx, they're immediately going to push you away from that ball, or they're going to demo you to get possession. Right now, ball on the back third to the Viper side of the field. We have Toge go for the challenge against Thrift. Thrift does not get their shot in. Enzo gets it past one. There's no one to beat, but they are unfortunately not in position to take the shot, so they have to try and center it up and dunk it down to someone. They find Zydra. Zydra gets the center up, and Toge's shot, unfortunately, will not be received immediately from someone, so they have to reset this play with 40 seconds left on the clock.
I like what you've seen from Enzo there, though, is able to take the boost away from the Lynx in their own territory right now. They're going to be running dry very soon here as they try to push it back. They managed to get the clear. This enough time for the Vipers to try to clear it back themselves. It's going to head down to half a minute left in this match. Vipers really need to pull together here to get the win.
We have Wilds going for a shot on goal. It's going to be saved by Enzo. Enzo has the opportunity to push it to the midfield. Adrift whiffs their opportunity to get a touch on it, but Zydra has no one to beat, takes the shot, and that is another goal for the Vipers. We have 13 seconds left on the clock, though. That is a very, very heavy task to overcome.
I don't know, but maybe 13 is in fact the lucky number for the Vipers. We'll just have to see. They're going to have to be able to get it right off the kickoff here, which we actually haven't seen any goals really scored right off the kickoff so far tonight, but it does happen. Senzo is going to make the hero shot here toward the goal. It's just up and going to want to fall down, but an unfortunate bounce off the backboard is going to put it in an awkward position there. They try to get the goal again, but the timer is just not their friend. That's going to be the first win there for the Lynx, winning it 3-0 in the first round robin match of the night.
It seemed like the cobwebs finally had shaken themselves out for the Vipers there in game number 3. As you mentioned earlier, it's still a round robin, but for now, congratulations, Lynx. You guys are going to win our first game here with our Rocket League event with Esports Tower. It wasn't the most easiest game number 3 for them to win, because definitely the Vipers started swinging back as hard as they could in that those last 2 minutes.
Right, and we definitely saw a major improvement from them. I wouldn't count them out for this tournament by any stretch of the imagination. They were able to improve.
And honestly, Jem, you could see that going out alone can get you so far. I mean, being a ball hog in Rocket League is never something you want to ever experience. And ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We definitely saw that coming out from Thrift and Wilds, two players that we have time and time again seen being a dynamic duo, and Adrift has worked in very well with their play style, and they've been improving ever since the first day we saw them here at the Esports Tower Rumble. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates, and I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Jake. And if you're watching and haven't checked out the Esports Tower clubs, you definitely should. It's the fast track to help you rank up.
Yeah, he might actually be here tonight to actually hear your call out to him. It's not remote shout out anymore.
Jake?
No,
Can
might
I
be.
meet you?
Well, we're just going to see. But like I said, this is a whole tournament. It's the first round robin match. We have so much more coming up.
For sure, so be sure to stick around. We are going to take a quick break, allow everyone here in the arena to, grab some water, use the restroom. We got to rotate teams out. That's the first experience for these guys, I believe. Something you're not used to if you've never gone to a LAN is being ready to get on stage. So next teams that have to hop up there, good luck. Let's hope you're ready, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Broadcast the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, and tonight is a very special Esports Tower event as we have the players here in person for the first time. I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk is Jacob Jem Palmer. All right, so that first match was very exciting, and do you think these players are performing well despite the kind of different environment that they are in? Because You gotta remember we're gamers at the end of the day, and a lot of us spend our time in our bedrooms.
Well, you know, I think we definitely saw improvement from the first game. Remember, the first game was 7-0, and then it was just like a 2-goal win, a 3-goal win for the rest of the best of 5. So I think we definitely see that once these players get in their groove, we'll see a lot more competitive matches. A lot more has yet to be played for these teams. And what's most exciting is we're going to still see the Lynx, who are fresh off their win, but they're going to go up against the Barracudas, which, man, if there was a story team in Esports Tower history, a more well-established, top-notch team, it's the Barracudas.
For sure, I couldn't argue with you on that whatsoever. The Barracudas are a long-standing Esports Tower team, and they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. But all of these players, regardless of the outcome of today's event, we want to give you a quick congratulations about all the effort that you've been putting in, not just here within Esports Tower and your favorite hobby of playing video games, but in your academics as well. Congratulations to each and every one of the Esports Tower members who have graduated and have been offered scholarships across the country. In the last 3 months, the Esports Tower Club members who have received over $1.6 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we cannot be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities that these players are getting.
You know, we have so many parents here. I think this is the moment where it really hits hard. Is like 1.6 million?
Yeah.
For video games?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, full scholarship. Wish I could have had that sort of opportunity.
Definitely.
Overall, though, I think we'll give the players a little bit more time to just kind of bask in the glory of their $1.6 million in scholarship awards. And we'll be back as soon as we can with the next game. So you're going to want to stay tuned.
Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like our future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Waiting for no one. We're heading straight up for the sun. They'll never notice. We'll take these cities on our own. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world.
broadcast the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight, this is a very special Esports Tower event as we have the players here live in person for our first opportunity to get to meet them. I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me to call all the action on desk is Jacob Gem Palmer. All right, so we are going to once again be seeing the players we saw earlier, which is going to be the Lynx, but they're taking on the Barracudas.
Right. Yep, very well-known names in the Esports Tower sphere. Have been around since practically the beginning, kind of one of the veteran teams, if you will. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the team that just freshly came off the win goes up against some of the best players in the league.
Yeah, and one of the things we got to keep in mind is like the exhaustion that you tend to feel, because being in person also tends to be a little bit more mentally and physically taxing on players, and you're not in one spot. You don't get to just stay at your desk, get up, go to the bathroom, go to your kitchen, grab some water. You have to rotate computers from a warm-up to being on stage to getting off stage and coming back. So that can be very overall different and just exhausting. So let's see if that impacts the play of the Lynx at all. But if you were to give any advice to the Barracudas who are going up against the Lynx, what would you be telling them?
Well, I think it's very fortuitous you actually brought up advice, because we actually have some pro advice from our one and only Doc Haskell, and that's brought to us by Doc's Keys to the Game in Rocket League. And the players have a chance to see it in the arena this time, not just over remote, in person. Doc's Keys to the Game.
You know, it'd be really cool if we had Doc go walk over to them and like hold up his playbook and be like, all right, here's your keys, and tell them himself. But we'll tell them for them, and those are: create the mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt, something we saw come in absolutely clutch for the Lynx earlier. Doc's Keys to the Game are presented today by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
Alrighty, Lynx and Barracudas, just like the last match, it is going to be a best of 5 in the round robin thus far. The players are just logging in. We'll see how they do.
I saw that.
Yeah, they can no longer get away with any shenanigans.
No, they
They're under the all-seeing eye of all the cameras around here.
I mean, we also have one of these players with sunglasses in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
2 of them.
Okay, I like it.
Computers, and I mean, like, props to you guys.
I mean, you need to protect your eyes from all the intense RGB going on here.
Totally.
I mean, if you look too much into the sun, you're gonna get blinded.
For sure, but for me, I'd be like, I can't see my screen anymore. I'm already blind as a bat, so kudos to you guys for being able to pull that off. Enjoy it while you can. No one keeps the 20/20 vision for too long, especially as gamers.
Yeah, it reminds me of whenever I have friends over to game. One of them always makes a point to put on gamer gloves just so they can make sure that they're at their peak performance. And while I just gave Nerdy, while Nerdy has a migraine there, I'm just going to remind everybody of the general rule set. It is 3v3 soccer, best of 5, round robin before we get to the single elimination final, semifinals and finals, and overtime is first goal wins, called golden goal. And here we go. We can actually see where we are and what we have going forward here. We're in the second match. You can see Lynx versus Barracudas, and after that, we'll see the Vipers. They get a little chance to kind of rest up, and we'll see how they've improved going forward.
Definitely excited to see that matchup against the Barracudas, but right now, we have the Lynx and the Barracudas. We've mentioned it earlier. The story behind the Barracudas is that they are a team of old. Just kidding. They're not that old. I'm really the oldest person here. But with that in mind, they are one of our oldest, long-standing Esports Tower teams. They've had some roster swaps, but there are some players that have been there for an extended period of time. They've had a lot of work with the coaches. They've had a lot of work with various players throughout Esports Tower, and in turn, that group as a whole probably has some of the most Esports Tower experience as a unit than any other team here within Esports Tower.
And if you think about it, high school, probably the most seniors ready to go into the collegiate scene as soon as they graduate here. So, you know, it's just like the collegiate scene. You know, you got the traditional 4 years, sometimes longer, as you can understand, Nerdy, but you know what I mean. You know, you don't, especially just in esports in general, there's always such new talent. You got to really fight to keep your spot.
Yeah, and the fact that these guys have managed to do that just you know, speaks to their dedication to the realm of Esports Tower and Rocket League, and their willingness to continue to love something that for some is like, it doesn't change, so how is this exciting? But it's like every match is new and different, and so they're constantly improving their skill sets and just seeking to be the best players that they possibly can. Let's see if that pays off here in their first ever face-off in person between the Barracudas and the Lynx.
And already Thrift He's going to make his presence known. We actually see Thrift has made a point of telling us between games that it has switched over gamertag to the proper name. So thank you for Thrift for doing that. But on the Barracudas, we see Greed, Quez, and Crayon ready to make their debut on the live performance. We'll see how they do going forward as Quez tries to set it up clear.
Yes, and that was a tee-off from from Quez to Cran, but unfortunately it hit that crossbar. Greed still kind of in a cherry-picking position here. We have Cran rotating back, gets possession, can't quite play it around Wilds, though. Ball still on the back third on the Barracuda side of the field. Wilds is going to get demoed by Quez. Thrift is going to pick up the slack, and then another demo onto a drift, but it doesn't matter. The demo... You took out the player, but you didn't move the ball away from its trajectory, so Adrift might go up in a plume of smoke, but they still get a fantastic first goal of the game.
You know what we often say in Overwatch 2? It's a game of objectives, not a game of kills.
Very, very true. With that, first goal is going to go in favor of the Lynx. Still have 4 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock, so plenty of time for the Barracudas to swing the momentum back in their favor.
But I do like the chippiness that we're seeing from the Barracudas. They are here to play. They're going to try to set up. They're going to pass it back toward midfield. Nice shot there, back toward the goal. Adrift is going to rotate back, Quez was able to save that one, is now going to be looking to clear it out. He's going to get demoed as a thank you for that from the Lynx there. Greed trying to set it up. It is blocked again. The Barracudas are definitely trying to make. We'll see how well they can rotate back here, there, and Quez is able to save. Now trying to go on the counterattack. Is going to go up against Thrift. We'll see if they can center it and get their first goal.
We have Adrift dunk the ball down over Cran. Greed is going to be there waiting in the defensive position, but they pushed forward, and there was a slight awkward double commit there. We might see here in the replay. Yeah, we're going to. We have Greed and Quez. Quez, I believe, coming off the respawn there. Unfortunately, both on one side. Quez goes for the boost. Greed goes for the initial block. Can't get the second one, so that's goal number 2 for the Lynx. And typically, once you're up by 2, it's smooth sailing from there on out. However, 3 minutes and 30 seconds is a lot of time to keep that 2-goal lead.
And it's like we also saw with the Vipers. It might just be, again, Lynx have been playing more on stage here. We'll see how the Barracudas can do warming up against this new team that they're going up against. Drift's trying to center it up. It's just going to head back, but they're going to keep control of it, keep the side control going. Greed now, Quez moving in for the clear, is going to play it off the wall. Centers it up successfully, but Wilds is there as the hero play for the Lynx. Such an important player.
Wilds now has Cran hot on their tires. They have to give it up, and they dunk it down to Thrift, who comes in, finding goal number 3 for the Lynx. That was a fantastic give and go. They recognized that there was pressure being put on them from Cran. Cran couldn't get the ball off that awkward ricochet, and we do see both the other 2 defenders both flat on the ground. Not much they could have done to prevent that from happening. That comes down to trusting who's on the defense, who's rotating the back post, and who's got midfield control. Got to clean up those rotations for the Barracudas to start preventing these opportunities from happening as easily for the Lynx.
Adrift to elevate up. Quez going to try to block, is able to ground it. Leave it off for Crayon, who goes in and demos Wilds. Wilds is going to be back on the field, though, in a few seconds, as Crayon is unable to get the touch he wanted there. Now look out for the Lynx again! See, I think I know what the problem is here. The Barracudas aren't wearing sunglasses. That's the main thing. I think it's the sunglass difference here.
It seems like the players might agree with you.
Immediately they start nodding.
Yep. As we go into the next kickoff, Thrift is going to get the better touch on that one. Cran was there for the challenge, but it's going to be Quez who dunks it down to Greed, as we have Adrift now rotating back to try and get in position. Wilds will get a touch on it, send it to the side, looking for an opportunity to maintain possession. Is going to pop it up. They do not have anyone there, so Quez is actually going to send it to Cran, who sends it right back to Quez. Quez doing what they do best, the aerial play. It's going to be pinched off against that crossbar and Adrift. Drift slows down, trying to maintain possession. Greed disrupts that off the backboard. Quez goes for the redirect shot, can't find the angle, and Adrift finds the save. Quez, though, at the mid, sends it to Greed, and they are resetting the play with Quez going back into that defensive positioning.
Still plenty of time, though, for the Barracudas to make their first statement. Look at that disruption by Crayon, pushing Wilds back onto the field. Now rotating back for a bit of defense, is able to get a tap on it back towards midfield. Gonna stop the clear from Adrift. Now Wilds elevating up, opening here for the Lynx as they got a demo, but there we go. Crayon, nice rotation back, is gonna be able to save it. Barracudas need a goal, though, very fast.
There was a shot on goal, but it did not get close enough to be credited, so Thrift pops the ball up to Wilds. Cran plays it to the wall, trying to maintain possession, but pushes it too far and allows it to be disrupted. Greed now going forward. In the corner here, looking to dig it out. We have Quez center it up. Going to be sent right back to the side by Wilds. Quez now off that back wall. Can't get a touch on it before it's immediately turned away by one of the Lynx players. Adrift's going to pop the ball up. It's ricocheting off the ceiling. A double commit. This is an opportunity for Quez.
Oh!
Shot in It's 2-1! And a Drift gets a fantastic breakaway. Cran, though, at the top of the back third is going to stop that one. Greed now pushing forward. A Drift trying to stop this one at the mid. Turned away by Cran.
Oh man, that couldn't have been more perfectly gift wrapped right there. It's like your Christmas present is their gift wrap for them, and then in trying to unwrap it, you get a paper cut. You know what I mean? It's that kind of general vibe. But again, we saw this with the Vipers. Sometimes you just need to warm up, and with the 4-0 here, Barracudas can maybe get a little bit of breathing room between these games, kind of regather themselves right here, and make this a more competitive best-of-5 going forward. The Lynx showing that they haven't lost any step.
It's definitely important to remember, though, Barracudas, this is their first time on stage. This is their first on-screen at-a-LAN broadcast from us here within Boise State and Esports Tower. Whereas the Lynx, this is game number 2 for them. At this point, it's a cakewalk. They're like, 25 minutes, we're all good. We know how it works. We're veterans at this point.
We're veterans. We know to wear the sunglasses. They know they're here for the environment they play in. I mean, there you go. That's the live sunglass cam right there.
And with that, it's going to be goal number 5 for the Lynx. As we mentioned, though, it's a best of 5. There's plenty of time left for the Barracudas to turn this one down around in their favor. But Wilds right there gets a fantastic touch on a double commit, something that needs to be cleaned up. Might just be needing to get the gears turning, greased, and cobwebs shaked out there for the Barracudas, because they typically are not super guilty of those double commits. It's just very well could just be right now the nerves of the whole event, as we have Quez elevating. He hits the ceiling a little bit. They still maintain possession, but on the ground, it's going to be Thrift who steals it. Greed tries to take it away. Ball hits the ground. That's the end of game number 1.
And you see the Lynx right there congratulating each other on that first win. As we go into kind of the more detailed stats, you actually see Barracudas had more side control there, and there were certainly opportunities for them to score there. It just didn't quite work out for them. But I think we still got a lot of game left to play. I want to see some more competitive games.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Something that I noticed that seemed a little bit off character coming out from Cran is typically a very demolition-heavy style player. They create a lot of opportunities by doing disruption, of whether it be just being physical with the other team or creating a lot of opening the space by demoing someone with ball possession, allowing their other teammates to come forward and take it from there. I did not see a lot of demos coming out from Cran, which is a little bit different. Perhaps the demos are being allayed by the Lynx, or Cran is just trying to be a little bit more patient and not be the demolition derby champion that we've seen before in the past. But I feel like if that starts happening, like the Lynx starts spending a lot of time on that respawn screen, things are going to get a little bit difficult for them.
But I think it's also kind of deflating, because we saw the double elimination at the start there, but when you have a team as accurate as the Lynx going through there, that they can just bomb it from midfield. There you go. Yeah, they realize how cool they look with the reflection in the sunglasses. They got the vibe going there.
I'm getting major Top Gun vibes right now. I don't know how to feel about that one, guys.
I don't know. Maybe they realize how well it's doing at the box office. So, like, we're emulating everything. The look, the performance, the
Very
victory.
true.
But I want to see the Barracudas. I know the Barracudas are super talented. You do not want to count them out for a minute.
And off the kickoff, it's going to be Cran who wins that one, but they are going to rotate back as a Drift snags it off the wall. A 50-50 between Thrift and Quez allows Thrift to get the better of the touch. Elevation from Greed is going to dunk it down to Quez, but Quez pushed Food too far forward, too fast. Quez digs this one out of the corner at the midfield. It looks like Cran's going for the challenge against the Drift, and then it's going to be Greed pushing forward from there on out. Wilds goes for the challenge, finds the clear, is now here in the corner where Quez is going to be waiting for them. So Drift comes in and they do some cheeky give and go, but it's going to be shut down by Greed, making a great save as Quez tries to push forward there, disrupted by Thrift.
Now as we move forward, a Drift is going to have it denied by him by Greed, who moves in Quez back over to the side. They're looking for their opening, the Barracudas, where they can strike. There's the give and go by Crayon. Back over to Quez toward the goal here, and they're just going to miss it as a Drift gets the save.
A Drift now has an awkward double commit from the Barracudas, but also a teammate at the same time. So 4 players piling up on that ball. Does find its way into the corner now, trying to corral this one out. It's going to be Wilds, but Greed's going to get the touch on it, center it up. Thrift, though, finds the clear. Quez has already rotated back. It's going to send it to the side. Goes for the reset, but it is going to be touched near the goal. So Cran is forced to make the save. Ball is still here on the back third, the Barracuda side of the field. They're looking for an opportunity to clear, but all 3 members, once again, bunched up and getting corralled by the Lynx.
Crayon now with just off to the front post there. They're going to try again on the rebound, but Quez is waiting back to defense, so he's going to wait for the clear to go through. He's unable to save it, though. Lynx get the first goal.
Dang, that one was just kind of unlucky. I mean, Quez did elevate, but they just didn't It wasn't quite high enough, and it just goes sailing past their tires. I think they did get a slight touch on it. We're not going to count it as an own goal. That's a situation of if you were there or weren't there, it was going to go in. With that, Lynx find goal number 1, but there's still 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game number 2.
Okay, Crayon trying to set it up, gets it past Wilds, now adrift. There goes Greed with the shot on goal, and he ties it up. We've got a game here, tied up 1-1.
And as I like to call it, it's complicated 0-0. So now it's anybody's game for sure. Both teams looking for 1 goal to put them in the lead, and then an extra security goal, so there is no buzzer beater opportunity to send us into overtime.
And some rally cheering from the fans as well. Sure to put a spring in the Barracuda step as they move forward here. Wilds gets a little bit better off of that kickoff and is going to move in now. Thrift trying to keep the play going. Crayon and elevate up. It's going to be stopped toward midfield. Flies over Wilds, though, and that allows the Barracudas to rotate up the field. They're not going to be able to stop the clear from Thrift, though, as Quez pushes it off to the side, trying to get the Barracudas just a little bit more breathing room.
Quez gets the clear, but had a lot of pressure being put on them from the Lynx, so they aren't able to follow up on that clear. Greed tries to go in for the challenge, but whiffs it onto Thrift. Thrift doing some fantastic aerial play, dunks the ball down, but dunks it right to Quez, who gets a great clear to the midfield. Quez off their own dunk down, finds an opportunity to center up to Greed. Greed, though, whiffs the second follow-up shot. Ran trying to set the play up again. He's going to play it off the back wall. Dunk down. Oh, you're going to see this unfortunate circumstance in the replay. This happens to everybody.
It does. You can't let it get to you.
This is the simple geometry of the game is not that simple, okay?
Yeah, sometimes it can just work against you, but it's better to try to make the play than not make the play at all.
Exactly, and now Barracuda's up by 1. Not sitting comfortably, though. As I said, they're looking for a security goal. Lynx looking for 1 to tie it up for themselves, as we have what I believe was a 4, if not 5 car pile up there at the mid, resulting in the Barracudas pushing forward. Great clear from Adrift off of a save now at the mid. It's going to be Greed and Adrift who challenge for that ball. No one gets the better of the touch. Ball touched near the goal, though, saved by Quez from Adrift's shot. Oh, sorry,
midfield, whiff there by Wilds, leaves it open to Thrift there, or maybe he meant for Thrift to take it all this time. Oh! I'm going to say it was part of the strategy all along.
That is what we consider just calculated. Even if it's not, you just say calculated.
There you go. They're going to tie it up. It is back to 2-2 for this match.
And I don't know if you saw, but there was a Barracuda right there, and it's kind of just a repeat of what had occurred. Like we said, it happens all the time.
It's karma.
Yeah, I will call it car karma.
For a minute, I didn't know if you were stuttering or actually making a statement there. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Now we've got the ball here in the corner on the Lynx side of the field. It does look like we've got Crayon pushing Thrift away. Like I said, they tend to get very physical, especially as we hit the back half of one of these rounds. All 3 members of the Lynx pretty stacked up on top of each other, trying to push forward. We have Greed pop the ball up, play it over 1. Can't get it past Wilds, though. Their aerial play, definitely something they're very comfortable with. They send it to Adrift. Drift centers it up. Wilds takes the touch right into the goal off the handoff from Adrift, and that is going to put them in the lead by 1, but definitely not sitting comfortably. They need that 2-goal lead to ensure the victory.
You know, I see what they're doing here. I see. You also see Rexy from the Jurassic Park franchise making it. They're referencing Top Gun and Jurassic Park. They're going for the blockbuster. They're going for the blockbuster strategy here, referencing all the successful movies right now. See right there, though, live shot of the Barracudas, who have something to celebrate about. They're going to get back tied 3-3.
Absolutely fabulous. I mean, it's still... It's anybody's game almost regardless of the scoreboard, but at this point, tied 3-3 is signs of good Rocket League being played. Both teams are very equally matched in skill. It comes down to, at this point, I say this with a lot of esports, it's a game of mistakes. Who can capitalize on the ones that are being made the fastest? But Quez, that wasn't a mistake at all coming from anybody. That was just some good, clean Rocket League play. Pinch off here from the wall, dragging it down, getting the secondary to follow it up and send it in, and you even had a teammate just in case it did get redirected. And that is going to put the Barracudas in the lead by 1.
There's still plenty of time to make a play, though. Greed is going to push it off. Get the little bit. Look at that. The Barracudas are just, it is a feeding frenzy right now.
My body is chrome and my blood is gasoline.
Quez!
Gets the hat trick. That is goal number 5 for the Barracudas.
Oh my goodness, what has happened with the Barracudas? Someone is alive at the moment.
I mean, I said the Cram's typically the physical one, but there was back-to-back demos there. That was a little dirty, but I understand that works into the play.
Oh, but a trip!
Oh, I thought we were going to first kickoff goal of the game. Gets dunked down, though, almost squeaking in.
That counts!
And Wilds with the follow-up, and that's Wilds' hat trick as well. We are within one goal of tying things up here between the Lynx and the Barracudas. It's doable. We just saw 3 back-to-back goals very quickly.
It is insane right now how this match is turning out. The question is what happens on this kickoff. Quez is able to outplay them and get the better of that, but look at Thrift making the play here. Rebound, it's going to be met in midair by Crayon and be grounded. Lynx still have to tie this up 5-5. Barracuda's going to try to get an insurance goal, but Wild saves it.
Here in the corner, we have Thrift dunk it down, sending it to Adrift. Adrift pops it up for Thrift. Thrift goes for the backboard, center up for an opportunity for a teammate, but Greed gets in the way. Wilds sends it right back across that midfield stripe. It does look like we're going to have Quez be the one to volley it to the back third.
Oh.
Shot on goal, hits the crossbar. Unfortunate angle to be sent there, but bending it like Beckham is very difficult when you're driving a car. Thrift now on the back third, looking for an opportunity to find the equalizer or to have a teammate follow it up. That might be it, but instead it's going to be saved by Quez.
And this is the one opportunity, do or die for the Lynx right now. 10 seconds left, but they have side control. Can they do it? Can they drive this to overtime? They're trying to set it up. Waterfall it down, and it doesn't work out, but what a great effort there by the Lynx. Now, the game still goes as long as that ball is in the air, but it hits the ground, and Barracudas are going to get their first win. So we're at least going to be going to a game 4 here.
And we can see here that shots on goal boost you. Side control almost perfectly split 50-50 down the board here. Just demonstrating how equally matched these teams are. When we were heading into that no time left on the clock moment and I saw the ball get popped up again, I'll be honest, my heart stopped a little bit, because when you are in the lead by 1 goal, you are kind of, granting an opportunity to send it into overtime, and that could be your very own team's undoing, not something you want to have happen. So I'm always like, you don't need the extra goal. You're already in the lead. Just ground the stinking ball and move on, please. I understand wanting to be flashy, make it look cool, but please, just for my own sanity, don't.
Well, yeah, if anything, it gave the Lynx, that one more opportunity to try to tie it up,
Exactly.
So you want to end it.
Exactly, but now we're in a best-of-3 game, basically.
Yep, we basically are. We're basically resetting and going back to best-of-3.
And so it's anybody's game. We have yet to have an overtime. I was really hoping
I know, we haven't, but yeah, that's...
But I understand that it's also, overtime's probably the most taxing experience for a Rocket League player, especially here within Esports Tower. We've had them go as long as, I think, 8 minutes, if not more, before. So if we end up doing that, I'm very sorry to every player we have on stage right now, because it's one heck of an experience.
And I also noticed one thing about the experience of these players is they get to hear, if they miss or flub a shot, they get to hear the screams of agony from up here on the desk, which isn't going to make them feel any better about the situation, I can guarantee you that. All right, as we start things off here, Barracudas are going to be off to an explosive start. Lynx having to defend here, trying to get some time to adjust. Now Adrift, now it's going to be working off to get the clear there off into the corner, but Quez answers that back, and there goes Greed being greedy by taking out Wilds, but it's not going to turn into a goal quite yet.
We have Quez looking to center it up again. They do, but not off the backboard. It's on the ground, which is an easy opportunity to stop. Greed finds the chink in the armor, in the words of one of our other casters, Tacky, and finds goal number 1 for the Barracudas.
Precision shot from midfield, from way downtown, as they would say. Now here we go. Barracudas now in the lead here. Situation, the Lynx not finding themselves on the back foot too often, so we'll see how they do right now.
Thrift in mid-flight will have their ball possession stolen away because one of the players from the Barracudas did disrupt that. Greed tries to send this ball to the mid, stopped by Wilds. Quez pushing forward in mid-air, is going to dunk the ball down, but it ends up with Thrift, and they intended to push it past them, so we have Greed elevate, send it off the back wall. It is going to be brought down by one of the Lynx members, though, so Quez is rotating back. We have a Drift go for the shot, centers it, actually ends up centering it to Thrift, saved by Quez. Opportunity to center it back up. Cran pushes it to the side, but in front of their own goal. Never mind, we are on the Lynx side of the field, so not as risky as I thought. Though ball already cleared. Thrift with possession in the corner here, looking to center it up to Wilds. Might be stopped by Quez, though.
Now looking to set it up. Both of them are going to be in there, but it might trickle into the goal there. Almost scored again on the Barracudas. The Lynx are trying to look out for it. They have the open goal. Oh my goodness, they missed it. That explosion obscured the shot at the worst moment.
Ball off that shot will hit the crossbar from Wilds. Thrift tries to be the ball. Cran gets possession, looking to bring it into the midfield. It's going to send the ball down into the corner. They have Greed there to follow it up. Greed manages to get it past one. It's going to be popped up over another by Cran. Thrift, though, with the tertiary touch from the Lynx, gets the save. Wilds putting pressure on Quez right now. Ball hits the ceiling. Quez can't get a touch, so it's Greed is going to push forward. Greed whiffs it too, but Cran is going to be finally the one able to get the touch, dragging it down here into the corner.
Look at, and they get scored on. All of a sudden, the sunglasses aren't for show, but rather to hide the shame they're in right now.
That was savage.
You know what? I can praise them, and I can roast them at the same time. You know, it's
Fair
equal
enough.
opportunity between both teams here.
We go into the next kickoff. It's going to be Greed and Adrift going for the challenge. Greed gets the better touch, but it's going to be Wilds there who's able to get the follow-up for their teammates. Quez finds the clear to the midfield. Adrift is going to be in front of them, though, so automatically sent right back to the Barracudas. Volleyed immediately by a Barracudas player. Quez goes for the challenge in the air. Thrift manages to redirect. Greed gets the center opportunity for Cran, but Cran can get a touch on it. Now they're rotating back onto their own side. Barracudas now in defensive positioning as the Lynx have an opportunity. Wilds is going to center it up. Double commit there from the Barracudas. Goal scoring opportunity from Adrift. Hits the crossbar. Unfortunately, it's nobody's friend any day. Ripped with the follow-up. We'll find goal number 1 for the Lynx, and we are within a 1-goal game once again.
And we might be seeing overtime for the first time here. We're just going to have to see if the Lynx can still rally.
It's a blessing and a curse. I mean, overtime's great, but it does tax our voices. So just know that
that is
if we
true.
want to see it, we are also hurting ourselves in the process, not just you guys. We all suffer together.
Which, after I roasted them, might be something they want to do.
Yeah, that's completely
just, you know, it's a bit of payback.
Now Greed gets an opportunity to push forward. Thrift stops it, pops it up to Wilds on the wall. Wilds goes for the backboard pass to center it up, but Quez slows it down. Thrift, though, dunks it down. And weird ricochet as Greed takes out Adrift. Greed now pushing forward, stolen away by Adrift. So off the respawn, Adrift immediately back into play and looking for vengeance. Quez and Cran double commit on that ball to push it forward, but now here on the Lynx side of the field, Cran's going to center it up. The follow-up from Quez goes too far to one side, and they have to reset the play again.
Wilds to elevate up. It's going to leave it for Adrift. Continue the clear. Thrift hanging back in the wings right now to maybe follow up on this one. Oh, for opportunity, and they're not going to quite make it, but they still have a minute and a half left to tie this up. This is turning into a real exciting one as Thrift fights it.
Awkward, like, 4-car commit here in the corner, and then the Drift is just like, I got no pressure. Gets the ball in easy. So now it's basically 0-0 in anyone's game as we have about 90 seconds left on this clock. It's anybody's game at this point. Both teams still looking for 2 goals to make sure that they are in a comfortable position for the remainder of this game number 3. But finding those goals is going to be difficult because this is a very low-scoring game in comparison to the last. As Wild takes a shot, it's going to be turned away by Greed.
Demo onto Greed, opening it up for Adrift, but Quez with the clear is going to buy some time for the Barracudas. They're in fact going to go on the counterattack here against Wild. Opening it up with the shot from Greed. It's going to find it and gets the goal.
That is going to put the Barracudas up by 1. They need another goal to ensure we do not see overtime because we definitely know the Lynx are capable of scoring multiple goals in a short period of time. It is not something that they find challenging under the pressure here being at this LAN event thus far. So can the Barracudas find another goal for themselves? They've got 1 minute and 4 seconds to find out. Bless the Lynx might be able to tie this one up because 1 goal, 1 minute, plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. It is still anyone's game. Greed is going to try to make an insurance goal happen with the pass over to Crayon in the corner. Drift is going to play it off the wall, moving up the field. Adrift trying to knock the defender out of the way, but now Greed is going to buy some time for the Barracudas. If they rotate up too far, they are going to be able to recover just for now, and now we have 1/2 of a minute left.
Quez's shot is going to hit that crossbar. Greed dunks it down over 2. Has to beat Wilds out, though. Ball still here on the back third. We see Thrift take out Greed to make this defense a little bit easier for a couple of seconds here for the Lynx. Ball at the mid. Adrift, it looks like they're going for a slight back pass to Wilds, who is just a little bit behind them, but it does not work out. So Greed now pushing the ball to the side. Ball here on the Lynx half of the field. Not something that they want to be dealing with as this clock ticks down to the last 5 seconds. Cran's going to pop it up past Thrift. 3 seconds left on the clock. Ball hits the ground, and that is it. And it will. With that, Barracudas are going to walk away with the Game 3 victory.
Wow, look at that. That is insane. Talk about look at that. Barracudas didn't have as many shots on goal, but they actually pulled it out.
This comes back to like that high school science class, you know, the accuracy versus precision.
Sure.
I mean, if you're hitting the same spot over and over again and that spot happens to be the top corner on the crossbar, well, that's not really what you're looking for. So take as many shots as you want in that one spot. It's probably not going to work out. So if you take less shots, but you're still managing to get the ball in at a better rate than the other team, odds are you're sitting pretty good. It's not common that we see that happening, but it does happen.
And another thing that we didn't think would be common, but now is that Lynx are now up against a match point. After they opened the night 3-0, they are now on the back foot. They have to drive this to a Game 5 and win this next match, and it's only been decided by 1 goal each game. Do you think we're going to see overtime at least? Because we keep hyping it up.
I don't know if we're going to. I personally really want to, and I'm very sorry that I'm wanting to, because it just makes it so much more exciting to see overtime, because it means everyone is fighting their absolute hardest. I mean, right now, if the Lynx are down by 1 and they find, you know, that it's Rocket League gold, to quote an announcer from a few years back, and they send us into overtime, then that is what they need to be doing. If they're playing for that, then so be it. But also, Barracudas are looking to just close this one out right here at match point. Can they come out on top of this one without having to deal with almost being equalized at the last possible second?
See if the Lynx can bring it together right now. They're trying to set up for the shot on goal. Saved by Thrift at the last moment, keeps it 0-0.
Greed here in the corner pops the ball up. It's going to be sent to the side by a Drift, but Quetz is going to be the one to receive it. Wild's rotating back. Thrift is there as well. Wild looking for an opportunity. They can't quite get this one out of the corner just yet. They play it flat across their own goal. A risky play to make, but a Drift and Thrift both find demolitions. The respawns have happened, but the resources will dwindle for a little bit for those Barracudas players. Cran off the respawn, pushes the ball across that midfield stripe. It's going to be challenged by a Drift, but Greed sends it right back over.
Gonna try to find the clear here. Crayon now moving, is gonna leave it for Thrift, and now Wild peels off to the side. Try to find a clear. Now it's gonna pass it back over to Thrift in midfield. It's lined up perfectly, but Quest finds the save. Follow up by Wilds just in front of the goal. And despite all that trying, not gonna be found for the Lynx.
Wild looks for an opportunity to get a touch, can't find it. It does look like a Drift though, did send it to the side. They're going to elevate and not get an opportunity to get a touch on that ball. Cran tries to as well, does not either. They do finally get a touch, tries to send it to Greed, but Greed drove over that ball just a little bit too far. Ball still here on the back third of Barracuda's half of the field. Greed now pushing forward, has to play it around 1. The pressure is starting to mount on them. They get it off that back wall, and they're forced to give up possession.
Crayon just a slight tap on it. Greed, still a lot of fighting in midfield. Now a Drift moves in here. Do they see their strategy? They see, okay, just a little bit of an awkward play there. It's actually going to push it back toward the Lynx, but you know what? It's still tied 0-0. They're just going to trade demolitions and call it even.
We have now passed 2 minutes here in game number 4. No goals have been scored, but it looks like the Lynx are struggling to get their rotations cleaned up that they need. All 3 members were very bunched up there, forcing Wilds off their own breakaway to be the one to try and make the play. Thrift off the shot is going to manage to grab it as Drift is going to take out Quez. Thrift pushing forward, has Greed go for the challenge. Cran's going to pick up the pieces from there, playing it off the wall from one of the Lynx players. They managed to get it cleared for a few moments, but off of the shot on goal, Quez can't find the clear. Thrift pushing forward off the backboard, follow-up from a Drift is disrupted by one of the Barracudas players.
I like how you see in the activity feed, a Drift is almost all demolitions. It's just bomb after bomb. It's just the mentality, you know what, something needs to happen, and I'm going to try to make the play.
I mean, demos can be very successful. You're taking someone out for a couple of seconds, and that opens the field so much, but also they can put you out of rotation. So it's demoing, but not doing it at bad moments and taking yourself out of the play. Ball here on the back third. Greed looking for an opportunity. We'll have it taken away by a Drift as we have 2 Lynx members grouped up. Oh, the cowbells.
Oh, yeah, the cowbells.
I was wondering when they were going to start happening. Cran off the back wall, sends it to Quez. Unfortunately, they have not enough momentum, so it's easily saved here by the Lynx.
Oh, it is down to the wire right now. Just a little under 2 minutes left, and neither team has scored. Although if you look at the shots on goal, Barracuda still lead right now 4-2. So the Lynx are trying to make something happen, but Greed is playing at the top of his game, is going to get a save there, but Thrift is going to try to set it up around the corner. Crayon to disrupt it. Now moving in, shot by Wilds. The goal is cleared out, but they're not going to quite find it. Follow up, and they get it! The Lynx want to go to game 5.
So many demolitions to ensure that there was no one to stop this one from going in. Cran off the respawn tried to back up, but I mean, when you're just getting back into the play, it's very, very difficult. We still have 1 minute and 25 seconds left. It took a very long time for us to see the first goal of this game. Right now, Barracuda's on the back foot trying to find that equalizer for themselves, lest the Lynx put themselves at match point with a victory in this one.
Here we go. Insurance goal would sure be nice for the Lynx here. Remember, if they win this, they still have to go on to a Game 5 to decide it. Here goes a drift, just a shot over to the corner where Quez is waiting. Greed is going to pick up a little boost while Quez moves in for the clear. A drift has to defend here and is successfully in doing so, keeping the Lynx in the lead.
Greed's going to play it into the corner off the back wall, turned away by a drift. Cran tried to be prepared for the opportunity to center it back up and do it again. They are, but it's going to be popped up by Thrift, preventing that backboard centering opportunity for the Barracudas. Ball still here, hasn't been cleared just yet. You can hear a lot of anxiety here on desk because those are a lot of shots being taken very quickly. A drift in front of the Barracudas goal is going to pop the ball up to try and allow a teammate to come in and close out that play. But it looks like they're taking a little bit too long as the Barracudas are starting to get possession again. Wilds plays it off the backboard. It's going to dunk it and pinch it into the net. That's goal number 2 for the Lynx. 22 seconds on the clock. That might be it.
It has to come down to this kickoff. This is the last opportunity for the Barracudas to close it out here. They have to get it on the kickoff here. So if you see a kickoff win for a Lynx right now, that is super important for them. It's going to go off to the side. Who's going to gain control of it after? Crayon making the play, and a key save by Thrift there is going to buy them the time. It's now down to 15 seconds.
This has now turned into a game of keep away or find another goal for the Lynx. They are on the Barracuda side of the field, exactly where they want to be. 5 seconds left. There is no time left for the Barracudas to find 2 goals for themselves. This is definitely a GG go next moment. Both teams now at match point. I mean, this is exciting. I didn't get to see an overtime just yet, but we are at game number 5. Both these teams giving it all they've got here in our round robin best of 5 series here between the two of them.
This is just round robin. We're not even in a final yet.
This isn't even the final four.
Yeah, and the audience is getting into it. I love it. We're seeing such a competitive match. Basically, we started out resetting to best of 3. Now we've reset to a best of 1, basically.
Yeah, this is where everyone needs to be firing on all cylinders, going, you know, Mach 12, no holds barred, playing absolutely perfect Rocket League. There's no room for mistakes in the next 5 minutes. Can you do that, though, is the question. I mean, pulling that off is difficult. That means clean rotations, clean boost management, and clean communications. There hasn't been a lot of double commits, but we've seen them. And then the last thing I'm going to say, word of advice for everyone up there on this stage, start looking for the demos, communicating to your teammates if you think they're going to go up and smoke, and try and help them out so they can allay that demo. It's an old Doc's keys to the game, but my goodness, that double demo in the goal to find that first one for the Lynx really set the tempo for that last couple of seconds there.
All right, we're just about ready to head into the final game. As you were saying, no time for mistakes right now. I mean, no pressure. It's for all the marbles, and you can't make any mistakes, but no pressure at all.
Yeah, this is the first time where we are, you know, setting up the story and mounting the pressure for everyone viewing, but also the players.
Oh my goodness, almost off the kickoff there with follow-up by Crayon. Is not going to find it. Wilds and Thrift both being credited with the save there.
Ball here in the corner on the Barracuda, on the Lynx side of the field. We have Thrift, though, with possession. Quez trying to take it away. A drift is going to push Quez out of the way to allow a drift to get an opportunity to send the ball to the wall to allow a reset clear. Quez goes for the shot. It does hit one and the crossbar, so no opportunity there just yet. Green goes for the follow-up, saved by, I believe that one was a drift.
Now a drift with a pop is going to get some elevation there, but Quez is going to answer it back. Takes it away from Quez. Is able to stop that clear. They'll maintain side control for now and set it up, although Quez is able to stop that centering pass before it goes through.
We have Thrift leave the ball for, I believe that was a drift. Yes, now Quez with possession has an opportunity to take a few seconds, but a drift is trying to get in there and steal that ball away. They're going to take the shot, saved by Thrift. Thrift is going to elevate. Greed goes for the challenge. It does force a give and the go line. Quez to redirect the ball. Greed now looking for an opportunity to center it off that back wall. Drift, though, dunks it down to disrupt that play, so Quez can't get in time to be the one to get the shot off the rebound.
Greed is now rotating back to get in back across the field there. And it's going to turn into a clear, so it is working out for them, but they've spent a lot of boosts to get there. Might be just enough time. Yeah, there go the Lynx on the counter attack, and they're just going to miss.
Drift dunks the ball down. It is left, and it allows Quez to get possession. Quez does have Thrift looking for an opportunity to put pressure on them. Thrift is going to send it to the side. Ball is here on the Lynx half of the field. It's in the air. Quez goes for the 50-50 challenge, gets a slight touch. Thrift gets the save, though. Adrift is going to rotate and be prepared for the rebound, and the save from Green.
Oh,
the defender's taken out of position. There's no one there, and that is a fantastic play coming out from the Lynx.
As the power of the sunglasses come through for the Lynx at their most valuable time yet.
And the matching roses.
And the matching roses too. So, see, it's all about the cosmetics, the aesthetic. They're setting up a story as much as we are.
Exactly, and now the kickoff, the ball is here on the Barracuda side of the field. Cran sends the ball to Greed. Greed plays it to the wall, knowing they've got a lot of pressure on them, though they need help from a teammate. Oh, Quez had a whiff, but Cran got the save from a drift shot. Ball is in the corner. Cran looks for an opportunity. It's going to be Greed who finds the clear, but there are no Barracudas members over here. They're all kind of dwindling at the midfield. Thrift goes forward. It is disrupted. Quez tries to get a touch, whiffs it. Wild though gets the shot in. There's no defender in position. And we are down 2 minutes, 31 seconds, almost crossing the halfway point of this game number 5. And the Lynx are in the lead by 2.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. You see Crayon, I don't know who was rotating back there because both of them were kind of rotating back at the same time. They were just a little bit too late. Look at Quez's activity feed. Nothing but shots on goal. Barracudas are definitely trying. But I gotta say, the difference I would say is probably Thrift right now. Like, look at all those saves on his activity feeds. He has shut the Barracudas out completely.
All right, Thrift, you might spend the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the respawn screen. Yep, it did be like that sometimes. We'll take responsibility here on desk, but Greed finds goal number 1 for the Barracudas. That could be the momentum shift that they need. Only down by 1. Are we going to see the equalizer happen sooner rather than later, or are we going to see it happen the last possible second?
Remove here. Adrift is going to try to get it back to a 2-goal lead for the Lynx, but Greed passes it up the field. Thrift though back, and Quez last-minute save. Now they need to turn this into a shot on goal for themselves. Crayon doing some air dribbling, trying to push in front of the goal, but Adrift manages to be enough of a nuisance to keep a goal at bay for now.
We have Wild looking to dunk this ball down and send it to Adrift, who can send it to the side. That's exactly what they had happen. Wild sends it right back to Adrift. Adrift, though, has no one to beat, and that is goal number 3 for the Lynx. There was a double commit on pressure onto Adrift where there's no one rotating back into the goal, so that back post rotation did not happen fast enough. And unfortunately, having no one in front of you, it's an easy shot.
All right, here we go. It's still not out of the realm of possibility. Remember, the Barracudas got their first goal when they were 2 behind, so they can probably even it up again here. But again, I think the main thing is I think we... Oh, like it's told you! Okay, I actually predicted that one.
You did really predict that one. I saw a double commit from the defenders here, and Greed just pops it up slightly. Quez gets it past Adrift, and then Wilds can't cut in fast enough to stop that one from going in. That is how you need to set those plays up. Sometimes it works out very well. Push the defender out of the way, whether it forces them to make the play for the save or just be ready for the fall. But we have a Drift takeout Cran, so there goes one of our Barracudas players for a couple of moments. We are crossing down now into the last minute and 20 seconds here. Barracuda's still down by 1.
Still haven't seen overtime at all, but they're definitely teasing us with it, especially great shot by Crayon there. And Quez ties it up! Just about 1 minute left, and it's tied back up.
All right, that Quez finds the equalizer. We are once again tied at 3 aside. Who's going to find the goal to put them in the lead? Is it going to just remain at a 3-3 score for the remainder of this game and send us into overtime? I sure hope so. Or if we see more goals, I want it to be back and forth because I want that overtime very bad. We have Drift trying to shut down the overtime possibility for me, but immediately it's circumvented and turned away by the Barracudas. Now ball on the back third of the Lynx side of the field as we cross the 1 minute mark.
1 minute left for these players. Look at the activity feats. They're already rolling and they're rolling them over here because they have just been fighting so furiously in the final game. It all comes down to this, and Greed sees the opening with 45 seconds left. Barracudas lead. What a great read there, sees no one is back there. Unfortunately, there's only one person defending. The Barracudas pushed him off to the corner. leaving the goal open. All right, Lynx, it's all up to you now.
Thrift now pushing forward with possession, has Wilds in front of them. The standard give and go between the synergy of these two players is very strong, but it's stolen away. Thrift's going to pop the ball up, keeping this play here on the Barracuda side of the field. They're going to collide with Quez. Quez is going to allow Greed to chip in and get the touch to send it to the midfield, but off the wall, Lynx are trying to keep this ball from crossing that midfield stripe. Thrift cuts in, centers it up, but Quez elevates and tries to get this ball past Wilds. They get back, but can they get it past Thrift? They will, sending it to the side. Very little pressure on them right now.
10 seconds left, and the Lynx have to make something happen. And it goes past the Barracudas, cementing their win there. But Greed, player of the game, not only getting a goal, but a hat trick for himself at the most crucial moment. Oh, and there you see him right there. He is in the camera right now. Enjoy all the glory because you deserve it. The audience counts it out.
Ball hits the ground, and that is it. And the Barracudas will walk away with this victory for themselves. The Lynx did win our first game of this evening, so it's not as though they are not here to demonstrate their skill as well. It's just this one, the gods of the game and the skill of the players just in favor of the Barracudas. However, this is just the round robin, so
yep.
It's anybody's game still.
I would like the results here to be a true round robin. Now let's get the Vipers win, and we have a win for every team.
There we go. And if you are interested, by the way, in being seen by expert college recruiters or talking directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. And with that fantastic game, you know, out of the way on Zone 4, these players get a little bit of time to relax, and we'll provide a little bit more relaxation time for everyone, the viewership, production, ourselves.
Take a drink of water.
Yes, please get some water. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Again, he's going to play it off the back wall. Oh, you're going to see this unfortunate circumstance in the replay. This happens to everybody.
It does. You can't let it get to you.
This is the simple geometry of the game is not that simple, okay? A drift shot. Oh, sorry.
Midfield, whiff there by Wilds, leaves it open to Thrift there, or maybe he meant for Thrift to take it all this time. I'm going to say it was part of the strategy all along.
That is what we consider just calculated. Even if it's not, you just say calculated.
There you go. They're going to tie it up. It is back to 2-2 for this match.
Get it past Wilds, though. Their aerial play, definitely something they're very comfortable with. They send it to a drift. Drift centers it up. Wilds takes the touch right into the goal off the handoff from a drift, and that is going to put them in the lead by 1, but definitely not sitting comfortably. They need that 2-goal lead to ensure the victory.
You know, I'm going for the blockbuster strategy here, referencing all the successful movies right now. See right there, though, live shot of the Barracudas, who has something to celebrate about. They're going to get back tied 3-3.
Absolutely fabulous. I mean, it's still... It's anybody's game almost regardless of the scoreboard. I say this with a lot of esports. It's a game of mistakes. Who can capitalize on the ones that are being made the fastest? But Quez, that wasn't a mistake at all coming from anybody. That was just some good, clean Rocket League play. Pinch off here from the wall, dragging it down, getting the secondary to follow it up and send it in, and you even had a teammate just in case it did get redirected.
The Barracudas are just, it is a feeding frenzy right now.
My body is chrome and my blood is gasoline. Quez the hat trick. That is goal number 5 for the Barracudas.
Oh my goodness, what has happened with the Barracudas? Someone is alive at the moment.
I'm making in.
That counts.
Wilds with the follow-up, and that's Wilds hat trick as well. We are within one goal of tying things up here between the Lynx and the Barracudas. It's doable. We just saw 3 back-to-back goals very quickly.
It is insane right now how this match is turning out. The question is...
Double commit there from the Barracudas. Goal scoring opportunity from Madrid. Hits the crossbar. Unfortunately, it's nobody's friend any day. Ripped with the follow-up. We'll find goal number 1 for the Lynx, and we are within a 1-goal game once again.
And we might be seeing overtime for the first time here. We're just going to have to see if the Lynx can still rally for opportunity, and they're not going to quite make it, but they still have 1.5 minutes left to tie this up. This is turning into a real exciting one as the Thrift finds it.
Awkward, like 4-car commit here in the corner, and then the Drift is just like, I got no pressure.
The clear is going to buy some time for the Barracudas. They're in fact going to go on the counterattack here against Wild, opening it up with the shot from Green. It's going to find it and gets the goal.
That is going to put the Barracudas up by 1. They need another goal to ensure we do not see overtime, because we definitely know the Lynx are capable of scoring multiple goals in a short period of time.
Still haven't seen overtime at all, but they're definitely teasing us with an especially great shot by Crayon there. And Quest ties it up! Just about 1 minute left, and it's tied back up.
All right, that Quez finds the equalizer. We are once again tied at 3 aside. Who's
rolling them over here because they have just been fighting so furiously in the final game? It all comes down to this, and Green sees the opening with 45 seconds left. Barracudas lead.
Broadcast the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're still broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We didn't teleport anywhere. And tonight is a very special event within regards to the Esports Tower, because we have the players here in person competing at this event all together for the first time ever. I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk is Jacob Jem Palmer. All right, so that last game was exciting to say the least, but we still have another one left in this round robin.
Yeah, we do, and it's involving the team that we saw at the very beginning. It's going to be the Vipers now going up against the Barracudas. Like I said before the break, I want to see every team manage to get a win here. So nothing personal against the Barracudas. I just really want every team to kind of get that confidence boost.
I I definitely really want to see the Vipers do that as well for themselves. I feel like everyone deserves a victory no matter what. And at the end of the and also just so the Vipers know, the co-host that is typically here for our Rocket League Tower Rumble is Tacky, and he is always 100% rooting for you guys. He's not here right now, but know that he definitely is keeping you guys in his mind, and he wants you to pull out on top of this one and be the victors, because of course that'll just be another bragging opportunity for him and more suffering for me later down the road. So, you know, he's going to be sticking to his guns and rooting for you guys no matter what. So in this next one, I'll be rooting for you as well.
Well, we're going to be ready to get into the final match of the night here, see how it closes out, and maybe it just makes the tournament organizer's job that much more difficult because everyone wins in the round robin. Now they got to go to the stats.
Well, that's true. Good luck on that one. Thankfully, we're just the casters. We get to be the pretty people on screen. But with that being said, we have some words of advice for these players that are going to be going into this game in the form of Doc's keys to the game for Rocket League. And those are: create mistakes, punish the overcommits, and play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game are presented today by Esports Towers. Go pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure, such as a LAN event. Just saying. Anyway,
Just saying.
Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Definitely check it out if you're interested in participating in these events from here on out.
We see a thumbs up there by Greed. If there's any player that has a reason to give him a thumbs up right now, it was Greed, the star player. There you go.
Hello, I haven't learned everybody's names. I'm sorry. I need to put faces to names. Like, come say hi to me and I'll remember afterwards. But anyway, those are
the Vipers. Those
yes,
sitting
they are
closest.
The Vipers.
Yeah, and they just to let us know that we were correct.
Yes. So we have the Vipers going up against the Barracudas. Barracudas, best of luck to both of you guys. Right now, Vipers looking for stop it. Right now, Barracudas are looking to get their second victory in our round robin, where the Vipers are still looking to find their first victory here. Those of us on desk are hoping that they do find it for themselves, so we can go into our bracket stage with everyone having had one under their belt.
So here we go. Everyone's loading into the arena here. You know what I just realized now?
What?
Since we're in the standard arena, they didn't bring out Hot Wheels.
Aw, man!
Oh, we were promised.
I wanted Hot Wheels, but okay, I see how
like
it
I say,
is.
we don't get what we want here.
Oh
my goodness! What?
Okay, Cran shot, saved by Enzo. Ball has to fully cross that goal line just like real soccer, so every single pixel. Quez, though, trying to go for an opportunity for themselves. It's going to be turned away by Enzo yet again. Cran tries to stop this ball from crossing the midfield stripe. Enzo goes for a shot, turned away by Greed. This is very, very fast. Lots of shots being taken quickly. Not all of them have been accredited by the system, but we are seeing them. Zydra goes forward, manages to center it up, but Cran's going to snag it before any of the Vipers get a touch. Toke is now in the defensive position, goes for the challenge against Cran.
Okay, trying to find the next play, but Quez is going to play it above him. There goes Zydra. It's going to get denied by Greed in midfield. Trying to set it up goes Enzo. Cran tries to make the play. Toke on the defense here. There goes a shot from Quez and saved by Zydra again.
Zydra now pushing forward, gets it past Quez. Can't get it past Greed, though. Centers it up to Cran. Cran's going to push it forward, allowing Greed to continue on. Greed goes to center it up off the wall. It's very slow, but Cran's able to be in a follow-up, and that is goal number 1 for the Barracudas.
Good play, and we see right there, unfortunately, this return turtle there just in confidence. All right, I wonder when we were going to start to see the BM.
Oh, that's our first kickoff goal. It's going to be scored by Greed. We'll be able to see the replay here. It looks like no one was really ready for it. Greed immediately goes in, shot straight at the goal. Not typically the strat you see people go for, which is why I believe no one was in the way of that one. It's hard to stop sometimes, but
you know, when it's such an obvious play that no one expects it. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the scrims row of Rocket League. And now as we go forward, still 3 minutes and 45 seconds of being up by 2 is great, but that's a long time to have to defend that lead. Plenty of time for the Vipers to turn around in their favor. Greed goes for the stop here to prevent it from crossing the midfield stripe, and Tonke's going to dunk it down. It goes right back to Quez, though, who's going to elevate. Enzo goes for the challenge, still with Quez. Quez leaves it for Cran.
Oh no!
Ball from Greed is not going to be there.
Oh boy, Vipers finding themselves in a lot of sticky situations thus far.
Avoid BM references.
All right, here we go.
We have Cran now pushing forward. They cannot get it around Toge. Toge has an opportunity. They unfortunately can't quite get the elevation just right. Zydra's going to be trying to prevent this midfield cross from happening. It does. Now in the corner, Cran goes for the challenge. Saved by Enzo there right in front of the goal. Shot, though, returned from Greed. That's goal number 3 for the Barracudas. We have 3 minutes left on the clock, though, so it's literally 1 goal per minute perfectly for the Vipers. It's very doable, and that plays very much so in their play style. They just really need to start pulling the tempo of this match in their favor.
And we've seen, you know, once Vipers get their strategy nailed down, they can fight back very furiously here. So still plenty of game left to play, and we saw Enzo with a great shot on goal there. It's going to be saved by Greed. Wes is going to be trying to pass it over to Crayon to get it clear. Doesn't quite go through. It's a little bit more side control by the Vipers, leaving up for Enzo again. Tries now Zydra. Moving it is going to play it just off to the left. Is not going to find the goal there, but they did manage to keep side control for a good amount of time there.
Quez dunks the ball down, it pops up. Greed goes for the challenge against Enzo, does not get a touch. Enzo elevates, gets the touch to pop it up again, but Cran is there to snag it and bring it across that midfield stripe. Enzo yet again, though, challenges, gets possession. Greed volleys it right back. We have Cran take out Toge, opening up the field for a few moments here for the Barracudas. The shot's going to be turned away by Enzo. Ball at the mid, going high and ricocheting off the ceiling.
Move forward here. Looks like Barracudas are going to rotate back here just as precautionary. As the Vipers try to make their play, and now they go on the counter-attack right above Toke. Enzo just able to get, oh, he's in a rough position though there. Manages to still save it though. Man, great play by Enzo. I mean, look at all the saves he's already racked up here.
That could mean, Enzo, you're the next target for the Barracudas, so be careful going forward. Ball takes the shot, very slow, crawling near that goal, does get saved. Enzo gets taken out, though, by Greed. Now we have Quez pushing forward, plays it past 2 defenders, but can't quite get in the position to be the rebound shot, and the rebound from Cran hits that crossbar down in the lower corner. Greed at the midfield trying to prevent the volley. We have Quez push it off that backboard with the follow-up touch, again doing the same thing from Cran. It's going to hit the defender, Enzo, again, and the ball goes towards the midfield.
Just a little over a minute left with the 3-goal lead for the Barracudas here, and overall, now we're down to 1 minute. And a little bit more reserved play here. Barracudas can kind of afford to be a little bit more passive right now.
They can. We have Quez.
Oh, well, they're just going to try again.
To Cran. Cran's shot's going to hit the crossbar. It did also hit one of the Vipers players. The system just did not accredit the save. We have the ball get popped up by a defender. Zydra's going to be the one to elevate with it, bringing it to the midfield. Greed goes for the challenge. Zydra, though, not giving up possession just yet. Centers it up to a teammate. Enzo, though, can't make it in time. So Cran's able to force the ball here into the corner on the Vipers' back third. We hear a demo go off onto Zydra. Quez takes the shot, but it does not go in.
Now just 15 seconds left. Barracudas look all but sure to take this first game, but this might be a repeat of the first match as well, and it just takes the Vipers a little bit to warm up, but then once they find their play, they are a force to be reckoned with, so we'll just have to see how they do in these crucial few minutes, few seconds between each game here.
And we can see, as far as the statistics go, we have shots on goal heavily in favor of the Barracudas. Boost use pretty equal side control in favor of the Barracudas as well. When it comes to dealing with a situation like this, I'm going to turn to advice that comes from the one and only Tacky, who is one of our Rocket League experts when it comes to us casting here on desk. And that is, you don't need to go for the flashy plays. You need to go for what works. And that's focusing on your clean Rocket League. That's the, rotations, communication, making sure that you have midfield control. And the last thing I tack onto that is always doing something with a purpose. You can't be having clears when you don't have someone ready at the midfield to follow up on that clear. It's just going to be immediately volleyed right back. You need to also communicate to ensure double commits aren't happening and having someone rotating into that defensive positions. I understand that these players have worked together a long time, and they know each other, they know their play style, but being at a LAN, it can shake that up quite a bit.
It looks like they are getting just a little bit of advice. You can see behind us 2 coaches, one coach for each team, just kind of giving them A little bit of pep talk, making sure everything's all right, and looks like we're just about ready to head into the second game here. But yeah, overall, I just think it's a matter of just one play at a time. I think mainly that we saw with the Barracudas with the shots on goal differential there, is the Vipers just weren't afforded that many opportunities to get a shot on goal. So you know, Doc usually says it just takes one big clear and following up on that there. So like you were saying, having someone to follow up on the clear and just take it one play at a time.
Well, we're going to go into this first kickoff and see how this first play goes. Who's going to get the better touch is really up to the players and how they go about it. And it looks like it's going to be Grant with Quez following up off the backboard.
Moving towards here, Tokay now leaving it for Zydra, unable to find it, and that's a very quick goal for Greed. Hey, you actually see that bit of disruption there. The bouncing out of the way was crucial.
The disruption play is not something you typically get a lot of opportunities in the replay cans to see, but it is very important, almost as good as, you know, demoing a goalkeeper, but it doesn't force you out of position. It doesn't require as much resource. We have Enzo, though, try to push this ball across the midfield. Greed's going to stop that, and we have Quez. Well, sorry, Zydra pushed the ball to the side. Tokay's there for the follow, but it's immediately popped back up. Enzo goes to dunk it down. It's going to be Quez who responds to that. Zydra and Tokay both elevate. Tokay's going to be the one to send it to the side where they have a double commit coming out from the Barracudas.
Crayon gets slight tapped on there. Is going to get demoed. Right now, same problem for the Vipers. They're finding themselves kind of constricted right now in their own territory. And just one shot after another levied by the Barracudas. Eventually one gets through. This is the opportunity here where you just got to plan out your next clear and follow up on it.
Zydra is going to look for an opportunity. Unfortunately, Greed's putting a lot of pressure on, and they're going to be the one to steal the ball away and send it to Quez, who's going to play it off the wall and dunk it down to Cran. Cran leaves it for Quez again. There's not a lot of momentum, though, and Quez, with that slowdown in tempo, finds another goal for the Barracudas.
And unfortunately, there, yeah, we see the rotation go through there. I would almost have to look back there and see what the boost was if they ran out of it. I'm just guessing here at this point, but sometimes it just comes down to a matter of execution in the main time, in the main moment. I mean.
We have a challenge that happened in the air against Quez from, I believe it was Enzo or Zydra. It did result in the ball now being sent to the Barracuda side of the field. Tokay sends it to Enzo. Enzo unfortunately takes an awkward ricochet and touch, but Zydra, being in a defensive position, makes a great save. Now looking for an opportunity to find a clear, leaves it for Enzo to push forward with possession. They play it around Cran, but they can't get it past Greed, but that's a double commit from the offense there from Barracudas.
And those double commits can really open up an opportunity for the other team. All it takes is just a moment of carelessness and you can be punished, and Enzo is definitely trying to make the plays here. Just not quite finding them, but as long as they they're able to deny the clears from the Barracudas, they can open up more opportunities. There goes through for Quez. It's going to head back over to the center of the field, though, and Crayon with shot on goal is going to be saved by Enzo, pushed back off to the side.
Greed sends it to Quez. Quez takes the shot. Enzo's going to send it to the side, but they have Greed putting pressure on them immediately. Enzo tries to dunk this ball down to a teammate. Zydra has to go for the challenge against Crayon. Does look like Rams Quez also come into play. Tokay, though, finds the clear finally as it goes to the midfield. Enzo's there for the follow-up, but Greed just barely beats them to that ball. Ball is still on the Barracuda side, though, so it does look like the Vipers have the opportunity to make it play happen. They just need to get this ball away from Quez.
Ooh, saved there by Enzo, but a little bit of danger there, and that was a double commit to get the save, though. Tokay gets the demo onto Quez. I mean, we were talking about, oh my goodness, Greed. I mean, we talk about taking out Quez, and then Greed steps up.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to deal with, you know, someone that I wanted to make a pun, but I'm going to refrain from it.
Yeah, it just, and that's the thing always with demos is they can open up opportunities for you, but you also don't want to get too tunnel vision and trying to go for them too, because you can put yourself out of position if you just go for one.
We do have Enzo looking for an opportunity. They're going to actually allow Toke to be the one to send it to them, which is a fantastic pass. We have Quest put pressure on, allowing Zydra now to elevate, push the ball across the midfield stripe, forcing it into the corner on the Barracuda's side of the field. Enzo plays it off the back wall to Toke, but Toke can't beat Quest, allowing Zydra to rotate forward from that back post position, get a touch on it. Double commit between two Barracudas and Vipers players. Does eventually end up with Greed playing this ball off the ceiling.
Enzo unable to move forward there, unfortunately, on that clear. Right out, he has no boost to work with, though. Zydra goes in. He's going to set it up. A lot of time being given to Greed, though, and Enzo plays it around him. There you go. It just takes one.
That would look at this. I can't remember the technical term for this because Rocket League, these plays, especially like this, actually have names. I don't remember all of them. They're very technical. This is a moment where I need like a dictionary in front of me. Anyway, that was absolutely beautiful.
It's the dolphin Enelman twist. That's like how technical some of these names can get.
It's very interesting, the names that they come up with. But with that being said, Vipers showing signs of life.
Oh my!
Toke! Whoa! You almost did it! Is there a follow-up? There was, but it's just not quite fast enough, and Zydra tries to be the one to close that one out. Now they're forced to rotate back. They make it in time. Quest pops the ball up. It's going to hit the backboard. Enzo's looking for an opportunity to get a touch and clear. Shot on goal from Cran. Got a little too wide. Now Toke pushing forward. Has Quest put pressure on them. Zydra's trying to be the follow-up. Instead, Cran pops the ball up. It goes into the corner here on the Vipers half the field.
30 seconds left as Enzo has made another play, but Quest is going to take it from him and place it around Toke. This is very crucial here that the Barracudas just maintain control of the ball for the next 15 seconds. Zydra is unable to find a clear there. It has to be brought through by Enzo here. Just a little bit of possession here and a ground. Very quick to end it. Well, that's not going to count. But at this time, the Barracudas now win another.
And that does, I believe, put them at match point,
yes, it does.
Unless I'm very bad at math.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, so if you were the one to be up on stage right now, giving advice, but not coaching advice, but mentality advice, what would you be telling the Vipers right now?
Well, you know, what you have to do is, at this time, you know, it's our job on desk here to kind of look at the whole picture and, you know, set up storylines and say, well, this is what they'll have to do going forward here. And that's mainly us on the desk trying to set up an exciting storyline here. But that's exactly what you don't do when you're in the competitive. You often say, Nuri, every game is a best of one. You got to go in with that mentality. You can't look too far ahead. You got to be looking at the play that you're in right now, what's going to work. And we definitely see a lot of life from the Vipers here, so they just need to focus on winning this next game and taking it one goal at a time.
I agree with you 100% on that advice. It's difficult to treat a game as though it's 0-0 and there's plenty of time left to keep going forward, but it honestly is the best way to calm yourself down, and if they could, I'd say stand up right now, but I don't think they can. Yeah. So with that being said, shake it off. You've got 5 more minutes to make this one go in your favor. Reverse sweeps are possible. Hello! Reverse sweeps are doable. They're not impossible, and we could have a full 5-game series just yet. Let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes.
Off the wall there. More the Barracuda. Oh my.
Enzo, that's what I'm talking about.
I like it. There we go. That's a great way to put a little spring in your step, start things off.
That was very fast, too. 5 seconds to find the first goal. So nicely done there from the Vipers. Let's hope they can continue with this momentum going forward. So we have Toke doing some fantastic work playing around 1, but it does look like Quez, who elevated, didn't get a touch on it. So Enzo's now going to push forward, send the ball towards the goal. Have they been playing with our emotions this entire time?
I mean, they might.
Did I call
that? Is from way downtown. Wow.
I feel like we've been toyed with.
I feel
very different, completely different animal.
The game is afoot. At this point here, there goes Zydra. He's just going to pass it over to the side, over to Enzo, as if to say, here, do that again.
We do have Cran, though. It's here on the Vipers half of the field. Greed goes for the center up. It's going to be stolen away by Zydra, who immediately gets a fantastic clear. Quez tries to dunk it down and send it to Cran. They do, but they're both pretty close to each other. The give and the go happens to Greed. Greed now off the backboard gives it to themselves. Quez goes in for the follow-up, and with that, we are now within a 1-goal game. 3 goals, 40 seconds off the clock. We could see an extremely high goal-scoring game here as the Vipers are slithering, whichever way you want to put it. They are snakes. Their way back.
I suppose with the fangs, that's the only thing you could get a grip with.
Definitely trying to make sure that they come out on top of this one and start the reverse sweep in their favor. Barracudas wanting to close it out at a 3-0 sweep, but can they do it? Will the mentality be their undoing? Because right now, the Vipers have the ball on their back third. Enzo leaves it for Zydra. Zydra takes the shot at the last second. Quez will elevate and get that save, allowing Greed to push forward with possession.
You want to watch out for Greed. He's the main playmaker here for the Barracudas, but he's not going to find it quite there as it gets cleared back by Vipers. Zydra rotates into center and up over to Enzo with another great shot on goal and a last-minute save by Crayon.
The rotations to the back post happen very, very quickly there for the Vipers. They managed to get the opportunity to find a save here. The challenge from Enzo results with the ball being dunked down to Quez. Quez off the ceiling is now looking for an opportunity to center up for a teammate. They do not find it. Cran pushed Toke out of the way, but that did take Cran out of the play, unfortunately. Ball still here on the back third of the Viper side of the field.
Quez moving in here to set it up, and a save by Enzo. Keep the Vipers in the lead for now.
Zydra tried to find a clear, couldn't quite get it. Toke comes in, stealing that ball away from Greed, but they had Cran also be there for the follow-up, so Enzo comes in to help out a little bit. Toke can't get the clear just yet. All 3 members of the Vipers very close to each other, finally spreading out with Enzo bringing the ball to that midfield. It's in the air, though. Gonna drop down. Zydra rotating back as that ball is sailing away from them. Saved and sent to the side by Enzo. Toke looking for a follow-up, does not elevate in time, so Quez is able to send it right back against that back wall.
Over to the side, Greed keeping the hopes alive for the Barracudas. I mean, they've gotten a lot of side control thus far. They're just forcing save after save from the Vipers. And again, they're going to deny the clear. Set it up, Quez off to the side. Almost took a weird bounce into the goal.
Greed goes for the center up to Cran. Cran, though, whips that shot on goal. Zydra pushing forward. Quez steals it away, and immediately is going to be taken right back by Enzo. Enzo has Zydra. They see them. Will they send it to him, though? It looks like they tried to, but unfortunately, the angle just didn't work out.
And the boost, actually, he ran out of boost there, so it wasn't able to quite fulfill the play there through the angle.
Once again, boost being an unfortunate Achilles heel for these players. But Zydra plays it off the wall. Can Enzo get in there? Enzo's instead going to rotate back as they see Quez has possession. Toke goes for the challenge, though, stealing it away, but Cran sends it right back to the Vipers side of the field.
Oh my goodness, Crayon there. I saw the play. And they're trying to rotate back just barely enough. You know, we were wondering if the Vipers were toying with our emotions, certainly for the amount of saves they're having to pull off right now to stay in the lead. They got to watch out for the shot by Crayon there. They're just going to head off to the side. Now, that could be crucial there. We saw a good bit of boost starting there, like right here. Like taking that resource away from Zydra. He can't elevate up fast enough. That's why we talk so much about it.
Now, apologies,
That is a team building up their motivation.
It's okay. We are tied to a side. Minute and 17 seconds left here in game at number 3. Vipers desperately looking for that shot, and they find goal number 3. That's a hat trick for Enzo. They're up by 1. They need 1 more goal to secure this victory and play keep away and not let the Barracudas find another one.
Alrighty. Vipers still showing signs of life here. I mean, someone has lit a fire under Enzo because he is playing out of his mind right now.
Zydra goes for the pinch off of Greed's shot. It does send it to the side, but Quez is there for the follow-up. They're going to look to put the ball in the net. It does look like they have to go for the reset if Enzo gets another save. Ball's going to go all the way to the back third on the Barracuda side of the field. Enzo goes for the center up. Off the back wall, though, it's going to be sent to the side by one of the Barracuda's players. Enzo takes out Quez for a few moments. Toke trying to race forward and get a touch on this ball. Instead takes out Cran. So the offense here for the Barracudas is going to weaken for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, a lot of demos have been brought on to the Barracudas in this last 1 minute here. Enzo's going to drive it around the corner. Crayon stops at midfield. Now they're going to let Tokay rotate it in here. Quez takes control, is looking to center it, just let it drop down, but is unable to do too much from the Vipers here. And this would be the time when you would just love to see a huge clear by the Vipers.
Enzo has 3 members corralled around him. Can we get it set? The crossbar, and Enzo and Zydra, and I think even Tokay possibly had a hand in that. So all 3 members, including their 4th man, managed to find the opportunity to prevent that ball from rolling across that stripe. And with that, the Vipers will find the Game 3 victory. Sorry, Game 4 victory. Game 3 victory. I can't do math right now. It's summertime. Forgive me. But with that, Vipers have started it. Can they close it out, though? Will they get the reverse sweep? Because right now, the Barracudas are still at match point.
Yeah, but it's a thing to just take it 1 game at a time, like we were talking about.
It is 1 game at a time.
And so playing out of his mind. I'm actually really glad that happened, because it gives, if not the match win, a game win at least for the day, you know. Getting shut out 3-0 2 times in a row on your first day playing here, you know. You want to have that 1 win to get it in, you know, no, we deserve to be here. 100%. We can match up against these other teams. And I'm not saying that wouldn't have been the case had they not won, but just for the mentality's sake, you know, I'm glad the Vipers now have that under their belt.
It'd be very exciting to see the reverse sweep start and have a full 5-game series yet again. Have yet to see an overtime. I'm hoping for an overtime. I'm sorry. But that is what I wish.
We have not seen 1 overtime.
I want overtime, and I want the Hot Wheels map. Dang it. But okay, whatever. You know, I don't always get my wishes granted. The one time they were, I was homesick.
That is true. That is true, actually, because I was there. I was broadcasting it that one day, and I'm like, of all the days Nerdy could be gone, the one thing that they want to happen is happening here.
Yep. So that being said, let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes. Will any of my wishes be granted? Maybe not. Maybe I have a fairy godparent somewhere on one of the team sides who just decides that, yeah, we'll let you guys have at least the map that you want. But with that being said, it's okay if I don't. I mean, I am 25 years old. I don't need a fairy godparent. It'd just be nice. As we go into the next game, and off the kickoff, Quez is going to take it forward, send it to the back wall, and Grant's going to try to get the follow-up, saved by Enzo. That brick wall on defense and offense for the Vipers.
As we move forward here, Enzo doing a bit of a showy play there with some air dribbling. At this point, it's going to stay in midfield as they're still fighting out for control here. It's left for Enzo. Plays it off toward the front post. Is there the follow-up from Zydra? There it is, but it just goes wide off to the corner. But the Vipers opening this up pretty well with some side control and 2 shots on goal to start things off.
Zydra's shot there did force 2 defenders out of position. They had Enzo at the midfield, but the follow-up did not happen immediately. I mean, I'll take it because Zydra has another shot. There's 2 players in the way again, kind of all 3 in the same spot. The follow-up needs to happen a little bit faster here for the Vipers. They can do it, but they're definitely showing once again that calm and calculated play style I talked about earlier is really showing itself right now.
Now they're going to have to try to find their first clear. Crayon keeping it alive in the center. Enzo with the rotation over is going to get a save there, and it goes rolling past Quez. And a lot of time here for the Vipers to not only get back control of the ball, but get a little bit of boost for themselves. Enzo rotating back to the corner there. Back toward midfield. Now Zydra ready for a tap. Just plays it off the wall there.
Uh-oh.
Look out for Greed here, though. He's trying to waterfall it down. And see, you felt the vibe there, Nerdy.
Yeah.
You knew there was trouble.
If you hear me say, uh-oh, it's not without reason, because I knew that Greed was going in, but I knew Greed wasn't trying to guarantee that goal, that shot was going in. What they were looking to do was set up Quez for the follow-up. I'm pretty sure it was probably communicated that Quez was ready for it, and it happened. That is a perfectly calculated play. That is how you do it. Forces a defender out of position, and you're just there to smack the ball right into the back of the net. Only up by 1, though, taking almost 2 minutes. It's an opportunity for the Vipers to turn this back around.
Oh.
Greed, though, gets the save there. Tokay centers it back up. Double defender commit, just as I talked about earlier. Unfortunately, not capitalized on fast enough.
There's a nice tap from Tokay. Gonna move it off to the center. It looks like Enzo's gonna be the next one to go up against Crayon here. Clarion plays it over him with the pass over to Quez. What a demo play there.
Oh, Enzo, you're back. It's okay. We have Toke now. Trying to get this past Quez. They don't quite find it. Zydra's going to try and look to get it past Cran. Pinched off and put in the air.
Wow. I like that play there. Yeah, did you Enzo, I mean, they recognize, if you look at the activity feed, you see Enzo's the main defense person. And now the offensive person taking out Crayon.
I mean, sometimes you just got to return the favors that have been done to you throughout the entire course of the Rocket League Rumble summer events. But with that being said, we have Toke now pushing the ball forward.
Oh,
follow-up. The follow-up just didn't quite have enough momentum and speed there from Enzo, though. So Toke at the mid trying to stop the ball from crossing that line. Does so. It's only for a few moments, though. Quez now playing it off that back wall.
Look out for this play by Greed. It's kind of Greed's specialty, is that mid-air shot, kind of dunking it down into the goal. That's where Greed's gotten a lot of the goals this evening.
They're very hard to stop, but if you can manage it, it's a great turnaround opportunity. Ball here at the mid, we have Quez now played off the back wall, but it's not going to take the angle necessary to have just an immediate follow-up. Enzo going to drag it down to the other side, has Greed put pressure on them. Now that one's centered up, but we have Enzo elevate and send it back over to the other side. Toke pushing it in front of their own goal across the field. Not really something you want to see happening, but it did not bite their heels just yet. Enzo still in defensive position, gets a save on that shot on goal. It's going to go to two of the Barracudas, but it doesn't matter. Enzo gets past both of them. Ooh, bye, Cran.
He's going to respawn on the field, though. One minute left as Enzo now makes the play up the field, setting it up, and Quez is going to get the save. Toke moving in. Over at this point, though, they just want to try to get some side control to set up an opportunity like this one there. Reed could only watch on there, and there's another try here by the Vipers. And a shot there, but there were two members of the Barracudas right in front of the goal there, so it was going to be hard to get past them, and wow, that was a last-minute save.
We are in the last 30 seconds now, and the Barracudas looking for a security goal. Vipers desperately looking for one goal for themselves right now. It's doable. The ball is here on the Barracuda side of the field, but Greed, with some help from one of their teammates, manages to find the clear. Toke off the ground, though, snags it, plays it around one, pops it up, sends it to Zydra. But the ball is redirected back towards the Vipers net, and Quez finds goal number 2. And at this point, it is almost impossible to find both the goals necessary for the Vipers to win this game in their favor. It's hard, but they'll have to do some cheeky kickoff play. There's barely any time left on that clock.
But we do see the margin of victory just narrowing with each game here, and the Vipers definitely made a rally there, drove it to game 4. Barracudas are going to win that one, and that's going to end the round robin for tonight. Overall, though, a lot of talent being shown off.
Most definitely, and if you want the opportunity to be seen by some expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to our industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship.
Alrighty, what a match that was there. So overall, what do you think kind of the main takeaways that we have for tonight are? What are kind of some of the main lessons learned and the lessons you need to learn at this point going in the group stage?
Really, I'm going to be a broken record. It's focus on clean Rocket League. Play your game. Do not let the pressure of being at this event, the pressure of hearing everything, learn to tunnel vision very hard, and just focus on your core mechanics that you know. You guys are here for a reason, and it's because you are fantastic Rocket League players.
All right, it looks like we're actually going to take a big break, but apparently that's not all that we have. We actually have more Rocket League, so you're not going to want to go away. We'll be back after this break.
waiting for a future that I wanna see. There's no one else I'd rather share this with. Nobody knows my imperfections quite as perfectly. You guessed it, it is you that I'm thinking of when we're apart. You're my searchlight when I'm in the dark. It is true. I'd give it all, I'd give my heart. You're my searchlight when
this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight, we have the Esports Tower event happening with the players here in person. I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk to call all of the action is Jacob Jem Palmer. So, we're about to see a team who has flown under the radar
it's been laying in the wait, in the shadows, ready to spring on everybody, especially because this is a semifinal match. We moved on from round robin to the semifinals. It's the Scorpions.
Yeah.
And the Scorpions also, I was looking at the team jerseys of people going up on the stage. I saw Jababy, who we've seen many times here in the Esports Tower. So we still have some names that we haven't seen at all tonight, but we are well known in the program.
I'm very excited to see how they do. There's a slight advantage to not being the team on stage first and foremost, or like at all in this case. I don't know how y'all got so lucky to not end up on stage, but in that case, you guys have not been scouted. You've had time to not have to deal with the loud crowd. You've probably been in one of our other rooms that we have available for playing our Rocket League.
And you don't have us critiquing every single move you make.
Yes, and you do see our Maverick squad is also on
there
stage.
We go.
That
yeah,
means it's going
Lynx.
to be the Lynx taking them on for this next match. So, of course, we have a tradition to uphold, but before I turn to those traditional points of advice, what would you be telling the Scorpions right now?
There's still one chance left to play on the Hot Wheels track.
There we go. All right, I appreciate that. Well, other than that, I want to close it at that, but I can't. We are going to turn to Doc's keys of the game in Rocket League, presented today by Esports Tower. And those keys and advice in particular, we'll get the graphic on screen here in just a moment, but I will say them out loud anyway, unless Doc magically appears behind me. And they are going to...
I mean, I will say I do have one point of advice, and I know at this point, since we're in Game 4, we're going to sound like broken records at this point, but... I mean, it's that resource management and boost management, because too many times tonight I've seen people try to set up a play, but then they run out of boosts in midair and they just sink like a stone, and it messes up the whole play that they were setting up.
Most definitely, and that's kind of a crestfallen moment. And other than that piece of advice, we also have these ones coming directly from Doc, which are create the mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
There we go.
So I think it was intentionally being hidden from us. This isn't the end of the end of everything just yet, but as we mentioned earlier, this is the semi-finals, so we...
Protato!
Oh, it's Protato, Nano, and oh my goodness, this is what you guys get for not sending us your player photos unless you sent these in. Either way, I absolutely adore them. We are going to have the Lynx taking on the Scorpions. No goals have been scored just yet as we are crossing that 20-second mark. The Wilds will demo Nano, forcing them to be on that respawn screen.
I mean, of course, we're in Idaho right now, so I'm going to be a little bit biased toward Protato a little bit. I want to see some plays here.
Fair enough. I'll give that one to you. We do have Baby looking to dunk this ball down. They get it past one, but can't get it past the Drift, who's going to redirect it towards the wall. Protato comes in. It goes off that back wall. Nano elevates, looking to put it in the net. Thrift saves it. Thrift is going to manage to get it to a Drift as well. There also was a demo under one of our Scorpions players, but Baby not giving up on this opportunity just yet.
Protato moving in there is going to have it stolen away from him. A Drift now moves up the field. Nano, though, being a pain, and is now going to move up and lets it waterfall down, but Wilds just with the save there keeps it 0-0.
Protato comes in, stealing that ball away. It's going to go off the back wall. Wilds tries to leave it for a teammate. Nano takes a shot, saved by a Drift. It was a very fast ping-pong action happening between those two cars. We do see Protato's shot as they get taken out. It's going to be saved by Wilds. Baby puts the ball down in front of the net. It bounces back up, gets sent to the midfield. Wilds, though, off Protato's redirect is going to be the one to get a touch on it as the challenge between Adrift and Nano is on.
Wilds is going to pass it back over toward the midfield, where Protato steals it away from them. Now runs away with it and gets a shot on goal, but again, Wilds, the key saver for the Lynx, already has 3 saves this game.
Protato is going to look to send the ball to the corner. Thrift putting pressure on Nano. Protato now pushing forward, grabs that boost, now plays it around one, has Thrift right behind them though, so the give and go happens, and the give was to Baby, and the go was right into the back of the net.
Yeah, there you have it there. That's just kind of the textbook example of what we talk about when we say centering, just trying to get in front of the goal, communicating with another player so that they can drive it in. Nano with a slight tap there is going to be answered back by a drift to looking to even it up very fast here. I mean, that's kind of the Lynx' specialty. They have a way of tying the game back up very fast.
They do indeed. Right now, though, ball's on their back third. Nano has the ball chipped away from them by Thrift. Gababy goes in to try and maintain possession, leaves it for Potato. Potato has very little pressure, gives it back to Nano. It's going to ricochet off that ceiling. Potato looking for possession again, but whiffs it off the ground, though. Nano's going to be pushed away by a Thrift, so Thrift comes in to try and snag this ball for the Lynx. Sent back towards their net, hits the crossbar. Gababy's cross-map shot goes in, and that's goal number 2 for the Scorpions.
Yeah, nice job here. We said they were laying in wait here. They just flew under the radar, and now all of a sudden they're making themselves known.
Very sneaky of you, Scorpions. I see you now.
You see the tail poking out from beneath the sand.
Most definitely. And they are now in the lead by 2 with half of this game number 1 having elapsed. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock. We have Nano take out a drift and take a shot on goal. And the follow-up from Gababy. Wow. And Gababy gets a hat trick. So hats off to you, my friend, with your first one, at least that we get to see on screen for this evening.
There we go. Wilds again has been the main person to try to get the saves there. He's a little bit too late in that instance. Now the Lynx kind of have had a mixed night. They've had 1 win and 1 loss. And the 1 loss they had was against the Barracudas that went all the way to a Game 5. So they are a very competitive team. You do not want to write them off. Potato now moving. Rift is going to take it away from him. Plays it off the wall. Wilds unfortunately whiffs on that one. The Thrift is going to come in to keep the play alive. Oh.
Ooh, Thrift! Nicely done.
I think that might have been an unfortunate. I mean, Thrift gets the last tap on it, but it was their, yeah, okay.
That was Thrift. It was all Thrift.
Yeah, it was all Thrift.
Lynx showing signs of a life. The Scorpions themselves, just based off of the players that we see here, and plus this is a semifinal game. They definitely are a force to be reckoned with. You mentioned it earlier, Gababy is a long-standing player, and as I'm saying this, Wilds, a drift to Wilds, Wilds to a drift, and the ball goes in. We are now in a 1-goal game differential, but this is just game number 1. It's so very exciting, so very spicy. I'm just looking forward to how things progress. We got 92 seconds left on the clock in this game. Lynx down by 1.
Rift is going to get demoed right in the center of the field. About all Thrift has done right now. Was the one credited with the first goal here, so I can see why they demo him. Now we're back toward the midfield. Still a lot of fighting going on. Potato with a pass over to Nano. Back to Potato. It just bounces off the front post.
And we do have the volley sent forward. Attempted to be grabbed by Thrift. Gababy disrupts that. Nano now going forward. Has to beat out Wilds for possession here. They're aware that Wilds is there. They leave it. Wilds tries to send it across that midfield, but Gababy was perfectly centered up for them. Gets the shot saved by Thrift. Nano tries to stop this ball from fully crossing into the back third onto the Scorpion side as we cross down to the 45-second mark.
Rift moving it back into orange territory there. And a quick answer back toward Lynx's own goal.
Ooh, we have Gababy take out a drift. It does look like that's going to slow down at the opportunity here for the Lynx to find a goal for themselves. Ball across the midfield, immediately volleyed right back. Gababy elevates, dragging this ball down. Is going to go for the 50-50 between them and Thrift. Nano takes out a drift. Potato gets taken out by Wilds. Just a lot of back and forth demoing here. Being equalized makes things a little bit easier, but 4 seconds left. Wilds needs to find an equalizer. Gababy's looking to dunk it down, and Gababy does just that.
The Lynx definitely had a lot of, it didn't feel, look at the shots on goal differential. It sure didn't feel that way for this game here.
I'm looking at Gababy's profile photo,
I know.
and I'm like,
just,
I love it personally.
it's best to avoid all eye contact,
Yes, because it creeps me out a little bit.
It creeps you out, but you love it at the same time.
Yes, it's creepy, it's weird, but I love it. With that being said, though, I feel like with how close that game was, this could go either way. I'm not making any predictions. I'm not claiming I feel like one team is doing better than the other. There was mistakes made on both sides, but at the end of the day, that was a great first game.
Yeah, it really was, and there were some definite moments where it looks like the Lynx could have gotten a goal there, especially at the very end there. I mean, we came this close to getting to overtime for tonight, but the way things are going tonight, it doesn't probably look like we'll ever get an overtime.
Another wish that will not be granted for those of us on the desk, but
Well,
that's
yeah.
okay. Maybe we'll see the Hot Wheels.
Since when have our
man.
concerns ever mattered?
That's true, but that's
That's-
okay. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not
It's,
doing this for us.
Again, we're not the ones playing. So
Exactly, it's for these
we're in a
guys.
position where we have the luxury of critiquing everyone else's play and then having the audacity on top of that to demand things.
Yes! Makes us double evil. But with that being said, there's still plenty of Rocket League left. Right now, it's anybody's game. I mean, going down by one game in a best-of-5 series, it's not that big of a deal, but it does mean that you have to start playing for the recovery just a tiny bit. As we do see a Drift take out Potato, our unfortunate Potato is going to be turned into a baked potato for a few minutes. For a few seconds, sorry.
Now is back and ready. Wow, what a save there against the Drift shot on goal. Now Potato's moving back in and just pushed off to the side.
The Baby whiffs their opportunity to get possession there between them and a Drift. A Drift tries to go forward. Nano goes for the challenge and goes for the secondary follow-up. Wild takes that one away. Baby off the back wall, looking to send it to Potato, but it looked like the angle was just not quite right. The arc, instead of hitting the back wall, went straight down like a waterfall. So now they have to reset the play, and Nano's looking like they're trying to stop it from crossing the midfield stripe so they can do just that. Unfortunately, though, it's on the back third of the Scorpion side of the field.
Goes Wild. Push it toward a Drift who was waiting there for Potato. Enough disruption there. Maybe not enough though. Oh, again, Wild. So those are the opportunities I'm talking about with the Lynx. I mean, they have it lined up. It's just some key whiffs at the last moment is denying them the goals.
The crossbar is no one's friend today. It never is. It's okay. You just got to do it again. As we see a Drift take out Potato. Ball still here at the mid. They leave it for Wild. Baby goes for the challenge. Unfortunately, gets faked out.
What?
That's safe from Nano.
I feel sorry for Wilds at this point. I mean, he's making so many plays and is just denied him in the most painful way 2 times in a row.
Never give up and never surrender, though. Wilds, you can do it. You have plenty of time left to make another play. We've got 3 minutes still on the clock. Thrift centers it up for a Drift, but Baby gets in that passing lane, pushing it forward, and it's Wilds who ends up with it, balling it to the back third of the Scorpions' half of the field.
Pushes it off to the corner where Thrift is waiting. Now a Drift. Now back to Thrift, and it's right in front of the goal. What? The Lynx are just playing a complete game of how close can you get to the actual goal without scoring, it seems.
Well, no one scored a goal just yet, so it's pretty equal on both sides as far as that is happening. We see a demolition onto the Nano, making this opportunity for the Scorpions just all that much harder. Potato's going to push the ball up against that backboard. It did try to be completely pushed back into a centering position by Potato, but that was thwarted by Thrift and a Drift. Potato, though, stealing this ball away on that forward push, and it's Wilds here in the corner with possession.
Now a Drift with the pass over to
Wilds.
Wilds.
Wilds was
Wide open too. I just feel so sorry here. I got to give the Perseverance Award for Wilds for still playing, because this is the moment where I would just chuck the computer out the window.
At least you admit that, sometimes your emotions get the best of you, but right now we really want that not to happen. It's part of playing competitively with esports, is keeping that calm, cool head. Wilds now pushing forward with possession, has to get around Potato. Potato, though, just gets the chip in on that one. Ball crossing in front of the Lynx's goal. Not a clear opportunity you want to be making when you send it to the side. It works out, though. It's not capitalized on. Wilds gets a save from a Baby shot.
Shot off the front post there, leaves it for Thrift. Oh my goodness,
Oh!
it goes past the screen there to head in. Every member of the Scorpions tried to stop that.
Whoopsies. Whoopsies.
1, 2, 3.
It's okay, good baby, that happens.
All right, now the Lynx find themselves finally, after all that trying, it finally pays off for them.
87 seconds left on the clock. Scorpions looking for an equalizer, and they're going to try and start that right now. Taking out Thrift. Can that be enough? Thrift is now respawned. They're actually going to be the one to find the clear and prevent this ball from going onto their own back third. Nano dunks the ball down, gets it past a Drift, but the ball is quite far in front of them. They regain possession here in the corner.
Back to the center where Thrift is going to try for another goal here, is able to deny the boost, steal it away from the Scorpions for the time being. They almost all out of boost to the Scorpions. They still managed to try to make a play there. Now they're all full up on boost again. Potato moving back, elevates up, and it's stolen away from him. And Wilds gets his goal! He finally got it!
All right, that's goal number 2 for the Lynx there. It's taking quite some time for these two to be found, though, so will we see 2 returned by the Scorpions as we have 43 seconds left? I don't know about that.
Yeah. At this point, it's kind of like a hockey power play, if you will. You know, you're looking for those big clears to run out the time. You can kind of afford to play a little bit more passively like that once you start to get a 2-goal lead.
Especially with such little time left on the clock. I mean, it's difficult. You got about 11 seconds now for each goal for the Scorpions. I don't know if they can do it. All 3 members pretty bunched up. Wilds takes out Nano, too. Yep.
There you go. I mean, they almost, yeah. Just a little decoration on top of the cake there, I suppose. Almost getting the 3rd goal, but not finding it there.
And now all that's left is for the ball to hit the ground.
All right, we're tied up now.
Once again, at a best of 3.
Okay, so I'm still trying to solve the mystery of the source material of
I really don't know.
Of that profile. It looks very Fraggle Rockish, if you know what I mean. You remember that show?
I thought so. It's a Muppet.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was a Muppet.
But it doesn't look, yeah, it's like, of the Jim Henson Library, you have Sesame Street, The Muppet Show, and the 3rd one, which is Fraggle Rock. So it looks so obscure that it might be. I have no idea, though, but okay.
I love it nonetheless. It's creepy and weird.
And thus, I love it. It's creepy, weird, and it's wrong, and I love it.
Exactly. All right, so we are tied. 1 aside. Now is when things really get kicked up a little bit, because best of 3, there is very minimal room left for mistakes. Whoever wins this next one puts themselves at match point. What do you think might be the thing that pushes one team above the other one in this game 3?
I think it's going to be the consistency. I think Lynx, they play very well up to the moment where they just miss the goal at that moment, or it just bounces off the crossbar. And I think if they're just able to find it a way where they can get the angles dialed in, what they've been practicing in the practice arena for hours and hours and hours, like I said at the beginning of this cast, it's just closing it at the last moment there. And I think that's that consistency. Can the Lynx get the shot, make the shots on goal that they're trying to get? I think that could be the deciding factor.
All right, so that is Jem's last piece of advice before we manage to jump into this game number 3 right now. It is the Lynx who have the opportunity to take a shot. They do, but it's saved by Nano. Wilds goes for this opportunity to put it back into the net, but unfortunately goes a little bit too wide.
The drift sent right.
Oh, baby, don't do that!
This is the Lynx's play style. It's just to constantly give me heart palpitations.
And we have Wilds make a great save off Baby's shot, and then the follow-up shot from Nano is going to be saved by a drift at the midfield. Now Nano unfortunately can't get a touch on it. Potato does, but it was a 50-50 between them and Thrift, so it does not work out in either's favor for a few moments. It does end up with the Scorpions, though. Already forced to rotate back, that is Gababy, who pops it up over 2. He has the opportunity to find a clear, but a drift trying to put the pressure on with a little help from Thrift.
Centered up and quickly knocked away by Thrift. Ray has a lot of momentum, a lot of verticality, I mean, but not that much momentum. So they're going to be fighting in midfield, just kind of playing bumper cars for a bit.
Gababy gets demoed, unfortunately, for the side of the Scorpions. It does make this forward opportunity a little bit difficult. Gababy is in the back post position, sends it to the mid, a drift dunks it down. Looking to send it to a wall to center it up, but can't do that. Nano ends up with it, stolen away by Wilds in mid-flight. Potato now looking for an opportunity. It ends up with Thrift, though, shot on goal. Would have hit the crossbar, ends up with Gababy anyway, so Gababy gets the save. Tries to go for the clear, but a drift is right there.
Wilds up the wall here. Whoa, that's a nice clear there. Just at the right moment, moving in under the soccer ball just bomb it back toward the other's goal. We still have a scoreless tie, but that might change with Potato tries to make it change, and wow, a follow-up there by Jababy, but it's not going to find a goal.
We have Nano pop it up to Potato. It's taken away by Wilds. Baby at the mid tries to cut in to get this ball away from a drift, but instead has to just go forward. Does a fantastic bicycle to send it back towards the midfield. Nano sacrifices himself to find this clear to the cherry picking Baby. The watermelon to the cherry did not work out though, as the ball is immediately volleyed back towards the Scorpion side of the field.
It's not really the most even matchup size-wise in terms of
very true.
In terms of produce. We're gonna have some traits back and forth in terms of elimination, but still no goals to find. Baby pushing it up the field is going to leave it for Nano. Almost looked like they were trying to pass the Potato there, but Potato goes up the field. Gets enough time for a drift. Oh, Potato is rotating back to the back post, and glad he did.
Potato pops this ball up, has to go for the challenge against a drift. I thought it was going to be Wilds instead. They do end up challenging Wilds as well. Nano comes in looking to send it to, I think, Baby here, but it looks like they unfortunately lost possession in mid-flight. Wilds at the mid, redirects towards the goal. Saved by Potato as Baby takes out Thrift, making it harder to capitalize on these secondary shots. So Nano now going forward, has the shot, takes the shot, and that's goal number 1 for the Scorpions.
That is just one of those great plays all the way down the field. You can see the flip, just the complete triple, and I think the unsung hero of that was the disruption from the teammates that you just saw there. And it's always nice when you see that in the replay because you don't always see it.
Definitely, and once again, I believe that was Baby who did that, so you don't always have to be the one to make the play, but you can help facilitate your teammates to do so. So we have a drift going forward, ball stolen away by Potato, sends it to Nano here in the corner. Wilds, though, gets a great clear. If it goes over Baby, Baby just got enough to redirect that one towards the side.
Back towards the center and over to Nano again getting the goal for the Scorpions. Have to look here. Oh, Thrift and Wilds. Looks like it might have been a double commit there, unfortunately, or just Wilds was just caught in an awkward position.
We are now down to 1 minute and 9 seconds. Lynx still looking for their first goal here in game number 3. If they cannot find 2 to equalize it or 3 to put them in the lead, it will be Scorpions putting themselves at match point. But ball is here on the Scorpion side of the field.
Wilds moving forward over to a drift. They're definitely trying to set up a goal here, but Scorpions are just denying it. And overall, if you look at the stats, I mean, it's pretty even in terms of shots on goal. Lynx only trail by 1. So it's not for lack of trying, it's just Scorpions just gotten past the defense a little bit better.
And Baby gets another great clear. It is going to be a drift elevating, though, to respond to it. They can't redirect it entirely, but enough to prevent Nano from getting a touch. Potato's going to send it right back into the corner, try to center it for Baby. The angle is just not quite right. Now the turnaround here from a drift is going to work out for a few moments before Potato cuts in and takes away that opportunity.
All right, it's just almost over, and Scorpions are going to head to match point here as the soccer ball touches the ground. Overall there, something really kind of stood out to me, and I think this might be one of the crucial differences, is because I kind of hinted. I was kind of putting it on the Lynx, you know, to say aim better, but I think more importantly from that, it always seems like the Scorpions have somebody to defend there, and that really comes down to a thing of having your teammates there to disrupt and push them out of the way. I'm just seeing more times when the Scorpions clear the Lynx out of the way on the field. So maybe a bit more disruption from the Lynx, you know, maybe more demos at the key time, or more of a shove, that kind of stuff, because I'm just seeing too much reliability from the Scorpions in terms of their defense.
I'm also seeing the Scorpions do a lot of cherry picking. While that can be very advantageous for those breakaways, it can also be easily capitalized on when your team's on the offense. If you recognize that someone's cherry picking, that person at the midfield, you need to be ready for that breakaway to start happening. But it also means that if you see that opportunity to go for a goal and you see 2 defenders commit, you go in for that follow-up shot and it's going in. There is no third person to put pressure on you and stop you.
Well, I think the main thing to take away here is the Scorpions are the biggest story that we didn't notice for the vast majority of the night until the very last moment.
No
They
offense.
made their names known. Not until the semifinals, not until we actually started getting to the bracketed part of the tournament did we see them.
Ooh, it looks like Adrift took your advice because they took out Potato right away.
Yeah. I like seeing the initiative here, and okay, you know, sometimes just suggest something.
Nano tried to go have their way with the free play there, and it was dunking it down on top of an enemy is not really the play you want to make. And so Thrift was like, okay, thank you for the give and the go, but you're not my teammate. I'll still take it nonetheless. And the Lynx put themselves in the lead by 1, taking a little over a minute to find that first goal.
So much give and go, but give and oh no.
Yes, very much so. I love that.
Now they're going to try to capitalize on their new lead as the Lynx drive it back toward the Scorpions' goal. Nano is going to be caught in an awkward position, bumped out of the way by Adrift. Now Wild's back over to Adrift, trying to get the follow-up. Scorpions are able to clear.
Potato, though, has pressure being put on them from Adrift. You can see them literally getting very physical, shoving them out of the way. So it's up to Baby to try and keep this one alive by sending it to Nano, but they can't. Adrift pushes forward. Ball is going to hit that back wall and go up. Potato tries to steal it away from Adrift. Adrift pushes it back towards the mid, trying to give it to Thrift, but Nano, circumventing someone, manages off the demo from Wilds to find a goal for the Scorpions.
I just noticed even the finisher for Nano is producing. Everything about Nano is sponsored by the grocery. I don't know what grocery chain is sponsoring Nano, but you could have your pick of the lot right now because you're so well themed, and I appreciate that.
I'm here for it. I hope to see it for the remainder of this tournament because I love me some watermelons. And we have Gababy here.
During the summer, right?
Yeah.
It's a perfect time.
Gababy now gets a great save. It's going to be Nano here on the side trying to corral this ball away. Potato comes in. It is Gababy and Adrift. Adrift gets the better of the touch, dunks it down. The follow-up almost there, but not quite. Now Gababy pushing forward, has the ball in the back third of the Lynx half of the field. Thrift manages to get the ball to Wilds on an awkward ricochet. Wilds now looking for an opportunity, but is pushed away in mid-flight.
Baby now, that's a nice clear. Is going to follow it up. Able to steal the corner boost away from the Lynx as well. On top of that, Potato. There's the play we were waiting for.
Potato cuts in here, not allowing Adrift to get a touch on that ball. Centers it up for themselves.
Yeah, actually. Oh, I'm sorry. I had my thought that popped right in my head right now. But what you're hearing there was like the neurons actually connecting and firing at the last moment. And the thought actually went through. What I was going to say is that was such a good boost steal there because you see Thrift immediately didn't have access to the boost and can't elevate up for the save.
I didn't even notice that. So the fact that you didn't, my hats off to you for recognizing that. Maybe that's actually what's been happening quite a bit here, and I have not recognized it. So I need to keep my eyes peeled a little bit more.
I mean, it's not only the fact
Thrift!
Wow. It's not the fact that you're starving boost from the other team, but it's like demos. When you take it away from them at the most crucial moment can make a difference.
Oh, Nano had a great shot on goal, but the crossbar was a saving grace for the Lynx there. We have crossed into the last half here of game number 4 with the Scorpions at match point, and they're up by 1, so they're not comfortable just yet. They need another goal. 2 minutes to play keep away is a long time.
That's a long time, and you don't want to rest on your laurels on just a 1-goal lead, especially if the Lynx are going to make plays like that. Thrift, another shot on goal, but did they go up too far? That can be the danger if you go all in on offense. You leave your goal wide open. Scorpions almost scoring on that. Now Gababy now pushing it back toward the goal where Wilds is able to stop it, head off to the side, and pick up their own boost. Now Thrift making the play that he needs to. Over to Wilds. And again, I was talking about the open goal here. Can they rotate back fast enough? They can't! Now we're tied up.
Wilds, I'm very happy that you managed to find that goal for yourself because it feels like so many times it was just stopped the last
look at
possible second.
threading the needle right there.
All right, minute 42 seconds. It's 0-0 basically. Who is going to find the opportunity to put their team in the lead here? An awkward tee-off play, almost a double commit between Thrift and a Drift. Ends up allowing Potato to get possession here.
Wow, huge shot back to the goal. Drift knocks it over to the side. Still a lot of fighting in midfield, but no one's really gained huge control of the ball as it just kind of ping-pongs back and forth. Sometimes that's the way Rocket League is, but it's still tied with the
baby! All right, so that's one goal though, and there's, I think, like 40 seconds left, roughly.
That was just a breakdown there of the rotations right there. That's a rotation a second too late.
A minute and 9 seconds. That's time for the Lynx to equalize this one up in their favor. Scorpions still want another goal. They're hungry for it. Can they find it, though, is the question.
I don't know.
Rib, did you just do it?
Just almost, no. It's going to get denied. I would almost think the Scorpions are the ones that are more hungry. They've got Potato, they've got, you know, Nano here with the watermelons. Like, there's a lot of food theming going on with the Scorpions.
It always makes me hungry, too, so I love it and hate it at the same time. We got Potato crawling this ball here in the corner.
Drift gets a tap on it. They're trying to tie it up with just 20 seconds left at the very end of the night here. Are we going to finally see the overtime that we have been hyping up, or will we be denied yet again? The Scorpions going to try to close it out there at the last moment. The audience is counting it down. As long as the ball stays up in the air, the game will continue. But at this point, the Lynx are way on the wrong side of the field. And, oh my goodness, Wild with the dribble. If I go there, can he do it? Oh, and off to the side.
It's still in the air. It's still up. Thrift pops it up. Can they? Oh, someone has got some lungs of steel happening. Nano, though, dunks it down. And with that, it will be the Scorpions on their first appearance here live in person with us and on stage, walking away with the victory.
So even though I said the end of the night just a second or two ago, apparently it's not the end because we're going to a break instead. So you're not going to want to miss what we have because we've got so much more coming up.
Yeah, so join us here back in just a few minutes.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, and tonight's event in particular is very special as we have the Esports Tower Club members here in person for the first time. I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk to call all of the action is Jacob Jem Palmer.
Yeah, I apologize for that laugh at the beginning, but just when you've casted as much as I have, you always expect to see someone there at the controls.
True,
So
very true.
The seat empty threw me off so much. But like I said, you didn't want to go away, and thank goodness you didn't. You're still with us because now we get to the finals, what we've been building up to all night tonight, and it is the Barracudas versus the Scorpions. So it's so interesting because Barracudas we've seen a lot of tonight already. Scorpions we weren't even aware existed until the very end.
They were like sleeper agents.
Yeah, they were definitely the sleepers, but have proven themselves. But man, it's going to be hard to go up against the Barracuda, especially Greed. I mean, I'm looking out for Greed to make the plays here.
All right, so that's who you're looking at. I personally will be looking at like a Baby and Nano and how well they work together, especially because like Greed and Quez, we've seen how they like to make plays for one another, especially going for that center up and very, very close rebound play, almost basically hitting the crossbar, but missing it by just an inch. And with that being said, you know, this is it for tonight. It is a best of 5, and there are 2 requests I have to make. Can I get an overtime? A. So I guess it's kind of 3. Overtime, I want all 5 games. And can I please get the Hot Wheels map?
I probably won't, but, you know, you never know.
Okay, that's fine.
I did like how that turned out. I have just 2 requests for you. Well, actually 3, but, you know, that's just how it works out sometime. But, you know, we have requests that we give to the players, if you will, at the beginning of every game. But they're requests that you want to take because they're actually a useful piece of advice.
For sure, and they come in the form of Doc's Keys to the Game, presented today by Esports Tower.
Oh, I see someone walking.
Wait.
Oh. At just in the moment when you said Doc's Keys to the Game, for those who didn't catch it, Doc walked right behind us as if he was going to the board to tell us the keys to the game. But you don't get him talking about the keys to the game, you just get us.
Yeah, we're a little more boring. But with that being said, Doc's Keys to the Game today, presented by Esports Tower in Rocket League, are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, and play the walls better. Demo to disrupt. So 2 things we've seen very important thus far tonight. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
All right, as we're ready to head into the final game of the night, this is for all the marbles here. Barracudas versus Scorpions. I think you set it up very well talking about the 2 playmakers, because I don't know if I can make the call between Greed or Kababy. I mean, it's hard. I can't necessarily immediately say who's going to win that one.
I mean, when you have such solid teams all around that play into each other well, you have those 2, you know, very confident playmakers, but then that third person who's also there, which in this case is definitely going to be Potato, coming in right now for the Scorpions. They can make a lot of plays, but they're also very strong on that defense. And so how do you deal with well-rounded teams that both of these, like these rosters that both these teams have? The question is, I don't know the answer really in this case. Like, it is up to how they perform as a group for the next 5 minutes in each little chunk for hopefully 5 sections.
We're just going to have to see. It is interesting because the team that was just fighting to try to get into these finals were the Lynx, who already went up against the Barracudas. And if you remember, that went all 5 games to the very last moment here. So these 2 teams that did make it, they got to be so evenly matched. I can't call it one way or the other. We're just going to have to see how it actually turns out in the gameplay. And we're going to be ready to jump into that game as soon as we can. But overall, are there any more specific, you know, we talk so much about general clean Rocket League play, as you've been saying, but do you have anything that's more tailored toward these teams specifically or one player in particular?
Definitely be aware that, yes, you have time if it's communicated to you that you don't have pressure, but be prepared to either be receiving a pass from someone if you're recognizing they have pressure. So you're communicating to them, you have pressure, I'm in front of you, or I'm behind you, or leave it so you can follow up and take the ball. But very strong communication and having solid rotations, I feel like, are 2 things that I want to see coming through here. We will not have the luxury of being able to hear the players so much, but you can definitely tell when communication's on point because there's less double commits and someone is always rotating towards that back post, something that definitely we saw from the Scorpions in that last game.
Well, we'll have to see. The Scorpions are also playing back-to-back here, whereas the Barracudas, where I actually suppose they haven't been playing, because one thing I should fail to mention that you might not recognize on stream is that you see the full arena behind us here for players. There's a whole other battleground room that you can't see on camera that is basically everything you see here. Imagine it doubled, because we have a room off to the side where they're playing too. So we say, oh, they haven't played the game here, but really the Barracudas were just fighting their own semifinal to get here. So both these teams should be at peak performance here.
That, but I'm also worried about the stamina, because something that a lot of people aren't used to. I bring this up with best of sevens. Thankfully, we are going to a best of 5. But the thing with LANs is that it is back to back to back to back, nonstop almost gameplay. And can you handle that? Are you staying hydrated? Is one of my big questions. I mean, there's a lot of drinks here, so I hope everyone has been drinking water and making sure that they have eaten, because those two things, it may not feel like you're exhausted, but when you step away from these computers at the end of the night, you will be. And if you have not been eating and not been drinking enough, it impacts your gameplay so much. So I'm very much so speaking to everyone that is here tonight. Make sure you're taking care of yourself while you're here. It's very important to not only us, your parents, your friends, your teammates, your coaches. That can impact your play so much. It helps prevent the exhaustion. So hopefully you've been doing that.
Well, it sounds like I've gotten the word here that we're just doing a quick pause here just to make sure everyone is loaded in and all right here. So I don't know if we'll actually take a break or not due to that pause, or if we'll just keep talking here on stage. Something we have no shortage of is just words to say. We'll actually have a 1 minute break. Not a 1 minute break, excuse me, but just 1 minute until so we can fill that time, I suppose. But overall, I really like how this is shaping up. I think one thing we kind of got to say here is, for those interested in the other sports here, it's kind of behind the scenes of how everything is working tonight. Rocket League has a tournament every single day. So that's 4 days of finals and semifinals. Overwatch has 2 tournaments spread over 4 days, so 1 round robin and then bracketed finals. And then Valorant has just 1 big tournament over the whole event here. So Rocket League is just pedal to the metal.
Go, no stopping.
Yeah.
And good luck. I couldn't handle that as a player, so good luck.
Yeah, definitely. These players, they played their hearts out yesterday, and they'll play their hearts out for the next 2 days as well. So 3 days as well. So I got to say, it's very cool seeing the energy around here for this event, though. It feels very convention-esque. You know what I mean? We have events and people coming in for panels and everything. At the beginning, we had directors from colleges here talking to all these players, letting them know their options and giving advice. I mean, there's so much going on here beyond just the what you're seeing here tonight. You know, they're here in the morning, having breakfast here. Just so many great events that Esports Tower is putting on throughout the whole day.
For sure, and if you want the opportunity to do this yourself, definitely check them out at esportstower.com. I mean, it's a fantastic organization. We have the pleasure of being able to work with them. At the end of the day, we are not Esports Tower players. We are just the casters that get the opportunity to talk about the fantastic gameplay that they bring to the table. They don't just do Rocket League. They do Overwatch. They do Valorant. I do believe they also do Fortnite on top of that, and it could be expanding in the future. But for now, we're going to focus on, did my wish get granted? Nope. No. I'm dumb. For a second.
Was just pointed toward the orange side of the field, and you automatically assume because you saw so much orange.
I had a moment. It's okay. There's still possibly 4 more games. We have Gran here in the corner. Gets the ball stolen away by Nano, so Quez and Greed have to try and send it back to Cran. Cran has pressure put on them from Gababy. And it looks like Nano's going to elevate and look for an opportunity to center it up to Protato. Nope, it's going to be Gababy. So all 3 members of the Scorpions have committed. So now they have to push back on this breakaway. It looks like Protato and Nano can't stop it. So it's going to be Gababy who does just that.
Clear off the side for the Scorpions. Ground tries to block it, but Gababy takes it away from them. Now Quez is going to move in here. Nano gets a successful tap on that to stop in midfield. Now here's Greed, the player that I was hyping up at the beginning here. Made so many great plays, is very kind of specializing in those mid-air dunks down into the goal, so watch out for that.
I also do not forget about Cran. I mean, Cran may not be the one doing all the flashiness, but they're going to be taking out a lot of people to create disruption plays. They're a solid defensive player as well, and here we go with a great breakaway play from them. and it's going to unfortunately not be accredited by the system. Potato, again, another great clear. It's going to hit the back wall, Quez, and unfortunately it looks like Greed both collided on that one. So Nano trying to make an opportunity for their team. Cran's going to stop it, but Potato takes out Quez in the process.
Nano trying to create an opportunity, but Quez is going to just like tap on that and actually turns into a full clear here. Potato moves back. Now around the corner moves Greed. Maybe slight play off the wall there. But overall, it's, you know, all things considered, pretty quiet game thus far in terms of shot on goal so far.
That might be a calculated thing being done by both teams in total, but we have Nano, as we're talking about that, find the first goal, taking a little bit over 2 minutes. That's going to put the Scorpions in the lead. Talked about it earlier, though. These guys have been playing for an extended period of time, and if they're anticipating, and, you know, you got to respect your opponent, so expect to always have to play 5 games no matter what in a best-of-5 series. You cannot be giving it everything 100% of the time from the very beginning of the first match. Otherwise, you could end up exhausting yourself and making the last couple of games very, very difficult. So being slow and methodical could be the strategy here for these players.
Like I said earlier, they got to go to sleep and then be back here tomorrow, so don't wear yourself out too much. It's kind of that mentality extended over all the days that they have to play here at the arena. Right now, we are kind of seeing that bit of restraint. 1 goal to speak of as we are more than halfway through the match.
Looks like Baby is looking for an opportunity, but Cran's going to push it forward. It's now on the back third, and Scorpions half. Nano grabs it, elevates. Has to play it around Greed, takes out Greed instead, but Quez is going to be the one to make the save. They also have Cran there to help them out. Never mind, Greed's going to get taken out. Quez sends the ball to the side. Cran is rotating to the back post position. Nano goes for the challenge and chips the ball away from Quez. Cran now going for the challenge, gets a shot taken away by Baby before the system even accredits that shot on goal.
What a nice redirect there in midair. But it just bounces off the backboard. Potato!
Oh boy.
And this is kind of interesting. I was talking so much about the flashy plays that the Barracudas can make, but really, the Scorpions have been having so much side control for this game that they're just preventing the plays before they can even happen. Nano going to drive it around past Greed. And there goes Quez back over to Crayon, and again, just knocked out of the way, back and forth by the Scorpions. Now credited with the save. Trying to place it toward the goal there, but it goes wide.
Greed with possession, looks to get it past Nano, can't though. Baby's going to be the one to pick it up off the ground as well. 1 minute left. Scorpions only have 1 goal to their name right now. Barracuda's looking for that 1 goal themselves. Can they do it? A minute is enough time, but if Baby can find one right now, it's going to make closing that gap much more difficult.
A little bit of a tap there. I mean, still an opportunity to tie it up. Barracudas, though, just evading them at this point. I mean, they've only gotten... Well, actually, the interesting thing is they've had more shots on goal credited to them for this game. But just a few more saves by the Scorpions. And just a crucial moment like that from Baby is what gets them the goals.
A 2-goal differential. I think we have a little more than 30 seconds remaining. It's not impossible, but it sure as heck is going to be difficult. Sorry, we have 21 seconds remaining. I do not know if the Barracudas can swing this one back in their favor, but they might have enough time to find 1 goal for themselves and give that morality boost as we move into game number 2.
Plays it off the wall. Now, and a crucial demo by... That was well... Okay, wait. I need to catch up where I was here. Oh, okay. I thought that was Potato taking out Quez, but it was Quez making a last-ditch effort there. Trying to rotate back was just a bit too late.
That's the 3rd time we've seen a demolition onto someone taking a shot on goal, and it's still going in. And now there's 3 seconds left, and a 3-goal differential. I believe this is a GG go next.
Yeah, at that point, 3-0 Scorpions. We haven't really seen the Bear. Okay, this is the first for me. You know, I don't really have much to go off of here in terms of analysis.
No, I mean, it's perfect all the way down the board. I mean, at that point, it really is just going to, like, finding the one chink in the armor to get that goal in, whether it be, you know, forcing a double commit or being ready for, unfortunately, a tertiary touch coming from someone who just decides to commit from the midfield, which could leave you open to a, you know, a breakaway. But we were at 50-50 almost all the way down that board.
Yeah, it's quite insane. It was just a few moments of just saves not going through for the Barracudas, it looks like, that didn't quite do it for them. I do want to say and clear up something here. We've been talking all night out. We haven't seen one overtime. That doesn't mean that we haven't seen an overtime at all during our casting careers. There were some people who said we'd never seen an overtime ever, and it's just tonight.
Yes, we have casted well over, I think between the two of us, probably approaching over 500 games easily.
Yeah.
Of Rocket League alone. So we have seen it. We've seen almost everything that there is, but we are hoping for an overtime here.
We've seen like an 8-minute overtime, I think.
Yes, and we wanted to cry because our voices were in so much pain. We want to see a game number 5. We want to see an overtime because that means that these players are giving it their absolute all and they're doing the best they can to minimize mistakes and capitalize on those made by the other team. As we go into this game number 2, Scorpions in the series lead by 1.
Potato with the tap there. Trying to put the Scorpions back into an early lead here. Just bounces off the backboard. No go to speak of thus far, but Gababy trying to change that. Passes it back over to Nano. Potato's probably going to meet him in mid-air here. Oh, actually, it's Quez and manages to ground it. Gababy takes out Quez, though. Quez respawns, though, and fresh off the respawn, passes it over. Actually, it's going to take it. Oh, that was a bit odd there. I thought it was passing to Greed.
I did as well, but the ball ends up now with Potato crossing that midfield stripe. They will take out Greed. Cran takes out Nano, so the follow-up is going to be difficult. Quez at the midfield gets it past 1. Can't get it past Nano, who sends it up to Gababy, who looks to dunk it down past Greed. And it looks like Greed did get a touch on it, but again, this just happens. Ball still ends up going into that net.
Yes, letting it waterfall down there. Kind of Greed getting done in by the goals which he specialized in throughout the night. One of those mid-air dunks.
What you can do, I can do as well. Now we have Quez with possession, has the ball bounce off the ground a few times, still don't lose it right away. Nano is going to take out Greed. Cran is in that back post position, gets in, manages to get a touch, gets a couple more, pushing Nano away, allowing Greed to come forward, but Nano's right there, forces the ball to the side. Quez elevates, gets pushed away again, so it looks like if you can't get a touch on the ball, get a touch on the one possessing it and push them away from possession to make it harder for the Barracudas to capitalize on these opportunities that they're getting, because just if you can't touch the ball again, what can you do?
Now Crayon heads off to the side, but Potato just kind of beats him to it. He's playing around all of them and demos Greed as well. What a play, and Baby is not going to be able to take it away from Quez, though. Quez is trying to help the Barracudas recover here, but the Scorpions are finding... Oh, that's dangerous there. But is there the follow-up? There isn't. Oh, that demo is actually pretty crucial there.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Quez was going to be the one to be ready for that follow-up. Potato's going to be the one to save Quez's shot. We have Cran looking to set it up again. Gababy's going to push it to the midfield. Greed takes that opportunity away for the reset for the Scorpions, though. Quez looking to dunk this one down. It hits the backboard. Follow-up hits the crossbar.
No one's friend.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. We have Quez, though, looking to set it back up again. Instead, they're going to collide with Gababy. Again, that if you can't get a touch on the ball, just be physically aggressive with the other players so it messes up any opportunity that they have from there on out.
And the shot by Quez is quickly redirected by Gababy, who leaves it for Nano. Yeah, I guess one crossbar is as good as the other.
I mean, it's even...
That those moments that you think, couldn't the designers have made the goal a little bit bigger? You know, it wouldn't have hurt anybody, you know? It's just...
We have Nano now pushing forward. It has the ball here in the corner. We do have Cran get taken out by Potato, but it doesn't matter. Quez is going to go forward, dunk the ball down, look for Greed, but it gets pinched off and ricochets off the ceiling. So Potato sending it right back to the back third of the Barracudas half of the field, where Cran tries to get possession. What?
That was a little weird. I've never seen that before.
I have not either, but Quez's shot did not manage to squeak its way past. We have another shot on goal. It's going to hit the crossbar, gets saved by Quez from Potato. Quez centers it up. Nano, though, is going to snag it before Cran can get the official touch on it. Cran does manage to redirect it, but it's still here in front of the Barracuda's goal.
Oh,
4 people have elevated. Baby's the only one to get a shot credit. No save credit goes to anybody, and we're still at a 1-goal game.
weird acrobatics there by Gabe. Meanwhile, Potato's taking out Crayon. Again, no, they didn't even touch the ball. I guess they were leaving it for Quez to try to get the clear there. I don't know, something's been weird these last few minutes. Maybe it is what you were saying of like it's been a long day. It's been the end of a long day, and sometimes you do see kind of that fatigue starting to set in.
Well, we've got 45 seconds left in this game, number 2. Scorpions win. It puts them at match point. Barracudas do. And then we go to a best of 3, but they still need to find a goal. They've got 37 seconds to do so. Quez gets a shot, turned away by Nano. Nano's going to pop it up at the midfield, get it past another one. It's going to hit the wall, though, and be sent immediately to the midfield by Quez to Greed. The dynamic duos. Quez takes a shot and is turned away by Gababy.
If there is one save there, because normally when we do top plays of the game, we do goals, but there's one save that needs to be a play of the game there. It's that one right there.
I 100% agree with you, because now we are at 8 seconds. You can hear the crowd counting down, and the Barracudas desperately wanted that goal, but Greed might be able to close this one out and get a goal to send us into overtime. Can we? We do not. Oh, wait, nope. Yep, okay. Ball hits the ground. Scorpions are now at match point. I still have yet to see an overtime.
Now this is a bit more, this is a little bit better information to work off of than just everything tied at 50.
Yeah, the shots are... They're still more in favor of the Barracudas, which is surprising considering that the ones that went out this game are, you know, the Scorpions. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going wrong right here? Because
well, it's too obvious. The crossbar is too large.
Okay, so we all agree, delete the crossbar or make it 2 pixels.
Yep. I got to say, I will say, one thing I do know is, like, the pressure has got to be ramping up a little, because as you see everyone behind us right now, those are all the players from the other games, Overwatch and Valorant. They've just started. All eyes are going to be all in Rocket League, just the last stragglers that are still competing for the night.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. That's why you heard the countdown was a little larger that time, because all the players are now starting to watch.
All right, so now with the Scorpions at match point, the Barracudas are looking to start the reverse sweep. And
you know, it was the match they won against the Lynx that they were also behind too. So Barracudas in the match that we did see with them kind of did have that come from behind victory.
And it's not uncommon to see it. And I mean, you genuinely, as you mentioned earlier, these players need to go in and treat this as though it's 0-0, that it's still anybody's game, and that this is the start of everything. But granted, the mounting exhaustion might be playing a little bit into the conundrums that we witnessed in that last game as we jump into game number 3.
This is match point for the Scorpions. We'll see if they can close it out. Korea's going to get a slight tap in midfield. It's left for Crayon, now back over to Quez. Elevates up, trying to get the first goal. It just gets deflected by Potato, keeping the score tied at 0-0. But already 20 seconds in, both teams are showing a bit of fight. And immediately Quez goes, and the Barracudas do not want to be counted out. Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful shot on goal there from Quez. The question is, can they do it again? Scoring early and getting in the lead early, that 2-goal differential is very important, but it's difficult to maintain for a full duration when you do it very quickly. So the question is, will the Scorpions respond, or are the Barracudas going to get to start to run away with the scoreboard here?
Back over towards Potato. We need to find a goal there, but again, Barracudas steal it away from him. At this point, Crayon tries to get a tap there. It just heads back way over to the other side of the field where Potato's waiting, though, trying to play off Gababy, but Quez is going to break that up.
Gababy takes out Greed. Cran now pushing forward with possession, ends up pumping it up over towards Nano. We have a slight double commit here between them and Potato, and we do see Nano get taken out by Greed as a return favor. Quez looking for a clear, does find it. Another double commit between them and another teammate, but the other one did not get a touch on it, so it wasn't super bad as we see a double demo between Nano and Cran.
And what's really standing out to me here is considering what we saw in the match against the Lynx, you know, we haven't seen too much from Greed, which kind of surprises me. I don't know if the Scorpions have kind of found the secret sauce, if you will, to try to prevent the star player from playing, but what they're doing is really working here. They're keeping the Barracudas at bay. You know, the Barracudas lead right now 1-0.
We've got 3 minutes for the Barracudas to maintain that lead, but
Did you see that?
It almost happened again.
But it was still a double commit, even though it didn't happen there. Both of the players already were up in the air to that there, so we don't want to see those kind of mistakes being made by either team. That could be all the difference here late at night.
Lots of double commits have already happened in this game, more than I think we've seen thus far in a single game of Rocket League. Yep. I really think that speaks to the exhaustion coming out of these players. Oh. Nano, I am so sorry.
There
but
we go.
okay,
Potato saves it.
There we go. That we really need to shrink that crossbar.
It really is. It's a real problem here. I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing for big tournaments there. It's
Perhaps.
Like it's hidden code in the game that makes it just slightly more obtrusive.
Going into this next kickoff, it's going to be Potato and Quez who go for it. It's going to hit the ceiling. Greed will elevate. Try to set it to Cran. Cran's going to play it off the wall to Greed yet again. The rotation forward has already come out from the Scorpions. Looks like Potato's going to be the one to try and set up this play. Quez elevates and is going to drag this ball down, play it around Gababy, send it to Cran. Cran gets it past one, but sends it too far to one side, allowing Nano to get a touch on it. Ball still here in the corner. Another shot on goal turned away by Gababy from Quez.
Well, we have a tie right now, but if any of the night is anything to go off of, then we probably won't see an overtime. One of these teams is probably going to score before the timer reaches 0. But here we go. Scorpions are going to try to make that happen right now, but they find a bit of odd positioning there. Oh, but Crayon finds a way.
All right, so a 1-goal lead. Can you maintain it and prevent the Scorpions from walking away here? Because they're already at match point. Because if they win this one, that is it. That is the end of the evening. So the Barracudas have to win this one, and then another one, and another one if they want this victory. They gotta play a lot of clean Rocket League. So far, they're starting to do it, but Gababy just made a great save from Greed's shot on goal. The follow-up shot is gonna be turned away as well.
I don't know if we've necessarily seen for this match, once the lead is a 2-goal lead, like the other team hasn't been able to make that up. So it's like a goal here for the Barracudas would, I would think, almost cement it. We're just gonna have to see, and Quez is gonna go after that. Stolen away by Nano, though. Back for the goal. It's gonna be pinched right between Greed and the wall, too. And it sets it up, but Scorpions just didn't quite set it up as well as I alluded to. But Scorpions still have some fight in them.
Greed is going to collide with, I believe that was Nano. Gababy takes out Quez. Greed is elevating with possession. Nano's going to go for the challenge. Dunks it down. Gets it past Quez. It does look like Greed, though, is going to be able to go forward. Cran got taken out by, I believe, Gababy. Ball is on the Barracudas half of the field. Scorpions hungry for an extra goal for themselves right now to equalize us because they're down by 1. Shot on goal from Nano is going to get saved by Gababy, and it's already crossing that midfield stripe into Scorpions territory.
Gababy unfortunately whiffs on that one, but it leaves it for Nano, and a save by Crayon keeps the Barracudas in the lead right now. Potato's gonna rotate back here. Look at all the demos Gababy has had for this match, by the way. It's definitely been chippier than usual. Trying to get one against his own team there.
Cran unfortunately has the ball ricochet off the ceiling. Nano, Potato gets a save. Nano's the one to redirect it. Quez tries to center it up, but it does get cleared. 10 seconds left. Can the Scorpions find a goal? They almost have it in. Will they be able to find an equalizer? It is at the midfield. It needs to stay in the air at this point, but it looks like it might. It's gonna hit the ground, and the Barracudas find a victory for themselves, and it looks like the side control really in favor of them as well.
The stats finally worked out for them at this here, because we were remarking last game how the Barracudas, they have more shots on goal in general. It's just they haven't found what they need, and finally the math worked out for them here.
But I said it about at the 2-minute mark. That's not it. They've got to win the next game and another one, whereas the Scorpions looking to close out the next.
Yeah, but they definitely look happy that they get another chance.
Hi, guys. Good luck. Good luck to all of you on stage.
Yep, good luck. You're going to need it because you still have to get 3 wins in a row.
You're just
You got the
laying it
first
on.
win. I know. It's a little late for everybody right
That's
now.
true. It's not impossible, but it would be exciting to see this go to full 5 games. That means the reverse sweep is possible for the Barracudas.
And every game that is played is another opportunity for the Hot Wheels track to be brought up. It probably will not be, but I'm just saying. Nerdy has gotten to the point where if they see orange at all on the field, they're immediately going to assume that it's Hot Wheels.
I feel so okay. No comment, but we'll have to see how that goes. Right now, Barracudas are desperately trying to get another victory for themselves. It's possible. Both these teams are very, very gifted Rocket League players, but the exhaustion set in. We saw some sloppiness coming from both sides. If someone capitalizes on those moments, we could see someone start leading the charge here. Barracudas have 1 victory. Scorpions have 2, so Barracudas looking to put themselves at match point.
Oh, they might immediately start with a lead at Crayon. Out of nowhere here. Sometimes that just happens right off the kickoff. The team's off to the side trying to grab their boost, and you just score on them.
12 seconds, so very quick fashion. We have Gababy win the next kickoff, though. It does not go directly into the net. Line Quez to grab it. He's going to do some fantastic aerial play, but taken away, and the ball's going to get sent to Nano on the ground. Shot from Gababy, turned away by Cran. You see a demo onto Nano. Shot on goal from Potato, saved there, I believe, by Greed. Ball at the mid. Nano pushes it towards the side, looking for a redirect, but it's popped up by one of the defenders instead. But as I say that, Nano finds a goal for themselves.
It is not over by a long shot here. What a great play. Unfortunately, some mispositioning there. There was only one. Quez was the only one to try to defend there. Flew right past him. Once the back post was completely open, took their shot.
Cran took a... Oh!
What is even happening at this point?
This was very interesting. We had Greed try to get a touch on it. They whiffed it. Cran went for the demo, and unfortunately that meant that back post was left open, and Nano was like, I got it.
I like how Greed just hit the brakes there and stopped in midfield because he realized at that moment you could only watch it head in.
I made a mistake.
The Barracudas can recover.
Yes.
I mean, they've shown that they're a team that can rally.
They've been in very similar situations. Both these teams have been in similar situations. So just under 4 minutes, it's still anybody's game. They only need to find 1 goal to tie things up if you're rooting for the Barracudas. We have Potato, though, take out Greed, and ball is still over here on the Scorpion side, and Cran manages to just find the opportunity to push that ball across that goal line and find the equalizer for the side of the Barracudas. I talked about them earlier when it comes to both these teams' rosters. They have like the give and the go playmakers, both of them, but then there are those kind of sleeper players which come in the form of a Cran for the Barracudas and then Potato more for the Scorpions. Those people that are very gifted on the defense, but when they need to be the clutch player, they can do it as well on the offense.
Quez moves around the corner, is going to be facing off against Nano here, who stops at midfield. The baby now takes control of it. Nano was hanging back there, actually goes up to demo Crayon in the goal. Leaving only 2 to defend for a short time, but now we have Crayon respawn back. Quez just at the last moment gets clear, but follow up there by the baby. Nano, excuse me, gets the hat trick.
Ball's popped up, and it looks like Greed tries to get in defensive positioning, but can't quite find it. Nano just barely squeaks that ball in, now up by 1, but 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Barracudas have the opportunity to find the 3rd goal for themselves as well.
Around the corner, Quez goes, pushing Gababy out of the way. It's way back on the field. Gonna just keep an eye on things where Nano tries to get another goal. Is waiting for the follow-up. Gababy already committed to it, but misses. Now Crayon is trying to make their next play. Quez is following quickly after him to play off. There goes the centering pass, and oh, they just tried to dunk it in there, but Potato read it and is able to save it.
Ball's at the midfield. Cran tries to get it across that stripe. Can't do it, though. Nano here puts
The ball into the corner. Quez tries to find a clear stop by Potato. Gives it to Nano, but Nano can't get a touch on it, allowing Cran the opportunity to push forward with possession now, crossing that midfield stripe.
Knocked way back toward midfield. It's back across the mid-stripe. Crayon unable to stop the onslaught of Scorpions just charging him. Now Greed rotates in here. It's actually going to be Quez, and that's, yeah, I didn't like what I saw there. They almost paid for that one there. They both double committed there.
The double commit, triple commit there coming out from the Barracudas did not end up being there on doing just yet. They managed to find the save, balls at the mid. Cran's going to elevate. They're trying to center it up, but it looks like the angle was just not quite right. They finally find it from Quez, but Baby ends up being the one to grab it, who gives it to Nano. And Nano gets taken out by Greed, so it's going to make this goal-scoring opportunity for the Scorpions that much harder and the clear easier. They find it, the breakaway is there, but it looks like the rotations are not.
And the thing that concerned me about seeing that double commit was at the time, it did not come at a time that was crucial. Like, you don't want to double commit, but if it's like to save a goal that's about to happen at the last moment, you can understand why someone would be, oh, I got to save the ball right now. But that ball wasn't even heading toward the goal. There was plenty of time for the Barracudas to wait there. So if we've seen mistakes like that at times like that, that might spell really bad news here for them, because Scorpions still lead 1 goal.
We are ticking down into what could be the last minute here for our Rocket League games today. Barracudas are desperately trying to find a goal for themselves. A double commit there does allow Quez to find a save at the midfield. It does look like Quez will steal the ball away from Potato. They are gonna, okay, Gababy is gonna grab it off the wall. Nano and Potato both go after it though, so that double commit makes things a little bit difficult here on the offensive side.
Solo queue mentality is slowly creeping in. Every time we're seeing a lot more bunch ball, just people bunching up around the soccer ball and all going after it there.
Cran has to battle out for possession here. Does look like they had Greed come in and help out. A ricochets off the ceiling is volleyed immediately right across the field to the back third here on the Barracuda side. We are dwindling down to 10 seconds left on this clock. The Barracudas looking for goal number 3. If this ball at the 1 second mark hits the ground, that is it, and the Scorpions walk away with a victory. But it's not impossible. Cran sends it to Quez, but unfortunately it does end up hitting the ground, and with that, the Scorpions will walk away with the victory.
With the championship, too. The team that we weren't even aware of at all through the round robin. When the bracket stage hits, they surprised us all and got the win. Huge congratulations to the Scorpions.
Yes, nicely done, you guys. And I apologize for the exhaustion you must be feeling, but it's the nature of the beast. Everyone did a fantastic job today. And do you, by chance, have any major takeaways from today's Rumble round robin that we got to see?
I think a big thing that we got to take away is just kind of the importance of endurance and keeping your performance at the same level here, because we saw such great play by the Barracudas when they were going up against the Lynx, but I didn't quite see that same fire, I suppose, that I saw them, and that just might be due to the lateness of the hour, but it's just one of those things that in these types of tournaments you gotta not only do well, but you can't burn out. And I'm not saying that they did burn out. I can't get inside their heads, but it just seemed like what we saw against the Lynx wasn't there against the Scorpions.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. And that just comes with time. For a lot of these players, it's their first LAN event ever, and that can be, the experience is vastly different. The atmosphere is different. It's both exciting and exhausting at the same time. They will have more Rocket League to play, but for now, congratulations to all of our teams on a very exciting Rocket League event here for us in person. And with all of that competition aside, that was absolutely amazing to cast. Thank you all for making the journey over here. And make sure to join us next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the week 2 of our Summer Rocket League Rumble.
And not only next week, the next few days as well, because this is a multi-day event. So we
have a lot to come.
Yeah, a lot. You're not going to want to miss it.
But congratulations to each and every one of you. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a lovely night and you take care of yourselves. You get some rest. Make sure you take a shower. And we'll see you all here tomorrow.